Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Minions of the Zoo. I am your host, Johnny Hellcat, and with me today are Minions Sanguine,
Good evening, all.
the Hey Camel,
Hello, hello.
and with us is traveling exhibit Travis Gardner.
Hello, all.
Yeah, so we were we were discussing bombing Japan again.
Well,
we're talking about the
again,
first
not
time,
again.
No,
Yeah.
we have talked
Just the
about
first
this.
time.
We've talked about this several times before, actually. So
Well,
yeah,
no, I just want to make sure
Again.
that anybody listening didn't think we were going to bomb them again. We were just talking again about bombing them.
Well,
Yes.
I
Slightly
got
different
yeah,
order.
wink. Okay.
I got like three different responses to the whole was it a war crime response. Number one is the first ones are usually from weebs, and I'm like, will you just finish up and fix the internet and leave so I can get back to work? And the next ones are people that are trying to point out that they're better than everyone else. And I'm like, oh yeah, it was a war crime. There were lots of war crimes, and we figured out how to do it the most efficiently.
And again, to my mind, the best argument is it was the least costly for all sides involved way of ending the war.
Oh yeah, and my thing is like we were about the plans that we had. We were stockpiling chemical weapons. We just discovered sarin from the Germans.
Well, do
So-
you guys know about the bat bombs?
Oh yeah, the bat bomb.
Those are fucked. So, given that you chuckled, I'm willing to bet that Travis knows about them.
I'm trying to remember, the bat bombs, was that a Japanese or was that an American thing?
That was an American thing against Japan.
'Cause the Japanese tried to drop bombs on the West Coast. I can't
The
remember what
balloon
they...
bombs.
Balloon bombs, that's right.
So the bat bombs were these specially designed bombs that had a parachute component in them. So you drop the bomb, it would be this bat coop effectively that the parachute would deploy. It would open up the bat coop, causing all the bats to scatter from the bomb and then go roost in various locations, waiting until the night. But before they woke up to fly away, all of them had these small fire bombs on them that were just enough to burn whatever the fuck they got onto, especially when it's a wooden structure. Care to guess what most of the buildings in Tokyo were made out of?
Paper.
Wood.
Wood and paper. So, the plan was effectively, we would drop these bats with thermal devices on them that would then burn down the whole of Tokyo.
Was this before or after we burned down most of Tokyo already?
We were going to institute this across Japan. So,
Well, eventually we were going to have to pause the war so they could rebuild parts of Tokyo so we can go back to bombing them. That way, I mean, you just can't just drop bombs on empty space. I mean, that's just a waste.
So in short answer, yes.
yes,
Yes.
it was a yes there, because it was going to be every town, city, what have you, would be lit on fire in the middle of the night while everyone was home and asleep.
Careful not to
That
fall
was
out of
what
chair.
the bat bomb was. It was ridiculously fucked. Ridiculously effective, but ridiculously fucked. And then we also had the plans for the island hopping campaign and what that would entail. And we were talking about that right before the show started, where the most conservative estimate, the estimate that was so conservative, it was immediately thrown out after someone said, well, this would be one way of estimating it, was that it would take 1 million US dead and at least 1 million Japanese dead in order to end the war. That's a fucking terrible way of going about it. So, and also, it was wrong because it would be much higher Japanese death. So then the second most conservative estimate went for, I think it was 2 to 3 million Japanese dead and 1 million US dead. But those were both basement numbers because the Japanese, within the empire that they had established, had about 14 million people that they could call in to fight for Japan. So we could have been looking at north of 15 million dead just in the island hopping campaign that we would have had to start. Compare that to the couple 100,000 that died from dropping the 2 bombs. Dropping the 2 bombs was the humane method.
The only thing I ever really question about the dropping of the bombs is, given how Japanese society has progressed since, was 2 bombs too much or not enough?
Did you want them to do more Japanese stuff or less Japanese stuff?
Well, I mean, they ended up exporting weeb culture to us. You know, they've got like panty vending machines and tentacle hentai and all that shit. You know, did we make them more degenerate by adding?
Oh, the tentacle stuff was there for ages.
Okay.
Well, there's Yukio.
I'm just wondering if us, adding a little plutonium and uranium to their diet, caused that or just enhanced it.
Well, see what you do.
You first.
See what you do is that we know that they were able to go from utter destruction to being able to produce some of the world's best cars, cameras, and electronics. So to test this theory is
pick another nation to glass and see how many gets it back to that stage.
I was thinking about Detroit, but that might be a little bit extreme.
But yeah, the thing is that, have you ever heard of Yukio Camel?
Say what now? Sorry, I was reading something else.
Have you ever heard of Yukio?
No.
If I'm remembering the right word for what I'm talking about, it's the Japanese woodcut art, where they carve out these shit ton of wood blocks and use them as stamps, building up an entire painting. And there's Yukio works that are pre-World War II tentacle hentai, effectively. So that is just going back into Japanese history for some reason. Though I do have to say, for some reason, apparently losing World War II meant that you're just going to produce some freaky porn. Because you have German dungeon porn, you have the Scheiße shit. You have all kinds of weird stuff coming out of Germany. Italy's porn is not exactly normal either. And then you have Japanese porn.
But also you get really, really good cars. So, there's a trade-off there. Weird porn, good cars.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just a little offended that with like I said, with all the hentai and whatnot, they still pixelate real genitals.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what the fuck are you guys doing?
Yeah, they need that weird censorship. And one of the things that I find the most hilarious about their censorship law is, do you know what is the thing that cannot get past censorship without being blurred or anything like that when it comes to Japanese pornography?
What?
Pubic hair.
I was gonna say it's like all these chicks have got like a full bush anyway. You're not really, you know, you're putting a hat on a hat. Really, is what you're doing, and it makes no goddamn sense.
It's the pubes that have the stricter censorship laws about them.
That's one of the things I actually like about Japanese porn. You don't see a whole lot of bush these days in the Western culture.
Camel's missing 70s porn.
Well, there's a difference between like 70s bush and like trimmed Asian bush.
I'm surprised Terry is not here to accuse me of being Jack again. This would be right up his alley. I teed it up perfectly for him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm sure notifications haven't gone out yet, so...
But...
And plus Monkey's right in the middle of his show. And
well, see, that works in my favor, because how can I be... You know, if I'm Jack, how can I be here and on Monkey Stream talking to two different groups of people at the same time about different subjects?
Well, there is already the cloning process, clearly. You actually did make the island deal.
I wish.
You were just trying to hide it from me.
I wonder what would you have to give up to get some clones? I wonder. Like, you know, that's going to cost, and I ain't got the money.
Well, I don't need I don't need multiplicity going on.
I do. I got a shit ton of work, man.
I drove by this place today, and it advertised plant cloning and synthetic soils. And I kind of looked at it for a while because I'm like, isn't plant cloning just like seeds and stems?
You can do clippings, and that's one way of doing it.
I was going to say, is like, if you know any potheads, the way they clone a plant is just by clippings.
I almost stopped in to kind of like, hey, what the fuck are you guys doing? I'm kind of interested now.
You passed a marijuana nursery, sir. You just didn't realize it.
Well, it was like right down next to Tinker, and
instead of a red cross, it'd have a green cross in the window, because that's the dead giveaway.
Well, no, it had like really clinical looking signage, like it was like a
stoners wear lab coats now, man. I'm telling you, they're getting hip to the science of growing their shit.
Was the name of the building a pun on marijuana in one way or another?
It was. It was.
Did it have 420 anywhere in the name?
It was. It was Plant and Biological Cloning Services of Oklahoma.
Huh.
I think the hippies finally went corporate, Johnny.
Clearly.
I mean, I am absolutely sure with you guys that it does involve pot, but it's just that you just don't drive around someday and you just look up and it's like cloning and like.
Well, yeah, man. They're not going to be like explicit with it because they don't want to get robbed. They got a bunch of weed in there. They don't want somebody coming in with a gat trying to stick them up.
Pabs Kasu. I was just typed out what it would be initialized.
But I did put something in the private chat there for everyone to look at. It looks like Travis has already taken a look at it.
I read the captions. I have a couple that I sent myself as well.
Let me pull that up.
It is a clip from MSNBC with Nicole Wallace hosting.
Mm-hmm.
They have her, and they have that gentleman Miles Taylor, who is leaving the Republican Party, which nobody really knew who he was. You know,
And
that
still
I was about to ask who.
he wrote an anonymous op-ed from inside the Trump administration. I don't remember what the New York Times, Washington Post. I want to say it was the Times, but I think he was like an undersecretary or like an assistant to an undersecretary for like DHS.
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing I remember about that whole thing was like at one point in time he was on Anderson Cooper on CNN, and Anderson Cooper flat asked, was like, "So are you the anonymous writer? You know, the op-ed?" And he flat said no. And then, like after he leaves the administration, he comes out like, "Yeah, I'm the anonymous guy. Buy my book. It's coming out." So you got these two former Republicans talking about the it's pretty much the Buffalo shooting, and the rhetoric over replacement theory. And they've got this professor from University of Southern California,
Mm-hmm.
who is talking about, and they have a quote here. It says, "My guidance is that we have to treat it as the terrorist threat that it is. We rallied on 9/11. There was no question about what the country is going to do. We are facing the same threat. We should label them the domestic terrorist
police
party."
departments
Talking about Republicans.
and go back.
Despite this guy being a self-proclaimed authoritarian leftist.
Well, what got me was with the closed captioning. I'll put it back on, see if I can find it. He makes a statement about data. He says that he tells his students that if you don't have data, you're just a person with an opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And immediately after that, he says that between the years of 2010 and 2019, 78% of murders were committed by white supremacists.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, because I'm sitting there, I was scrolling on my phone, like smoking the first cigarette of the day while I'm taking my morning constitutional. I'm just like, what the fuck did he just say?
I could just imagine the cigarette falling out of your mouth into the toilet. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Well, no, I don't abuse my nicotine like that. But yeah,
I like how the
what fuck did he
picture
just say?
has his book neatly placed right behind his left shoulder.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah,
But-
it goes back to you guys. Have you guys ever looked at the initial thing that came out that said that white supremacists are the greatest threat to the U.S.? Do you guys remember when that came out?
I've heard it so many times. I don't know anymore.
You know what? If
Yeah, I mean, Travis and I are from Oklahoma. We every year in April we get to be reminded about the Oklahoma City bombing and white supremacy and whatnot, domestic terrorism. So like it's all kind of white noise to me, if you'll pardon the pun. But
So, when it came out, it was during the Obama administration. It was done by, I want to say, the DOJ, but I could be wrong about which department. But I'm almost positive it was the DOJ. So, they published all the data that first time.
oh,
And
I think I
read-
do recall, like, wasn't this also like the same like data that showed that like a large chunk of terrorist acts committed in the United States were, at least in this particular time frame, was Muslims?
Yes. So
And
what
they're
they-
like, hey, white supremacists, those are the real threat.
what they did was they were very careful about what dates they chose for this analysis. Because do you guys care to guess what day they started? What was the oldest bit of data that they accepted?
September 12th, 2001.
On the dot. I'm not joking.
I know you're not joking. That's the sad part.
So they started it immediately after 9/11.
I recall Cenk Uygur going on about the white supremacy problem. And yeah, okay, it's all coming back to me now.
Yeah, I get
They
very.
went on to present day in their analysis. What was the present day at the time? And in their analysis, they noticed that 1/3 of all terrorist attacks within the United States were done by Islamic extremists. The conclusion was that the most dangerous group in America were white supremacists. Do you want to hear the most fucked up thing about that? After stating that 1/3 were committed by Islamic extremists,
Go ahead.
Except for
white
those guys.
supremacists were less than 1/3 in the data.
What was the other? You got white supremacists being less than 1/3, Muslims being about 1/3. What was the rest comprised of?
French odor.
All kinds of different groups, various separatist groups. So, for instance, there was like the Puerto Rican separatists, which they actually bombed the capital at one point.
Not like in the
during that time
80s.
frame. Yeah, but they're still
No,
around.
it wasn't even the
They still
80s,
do
was it?
shit.
It was
Yeah, it was
earlier
in
than
the
that.
80s. Or it was 58, I want to say, something like that.
Okay, see that I'm just gonna say it was.
Let me quickly double check.
Just gonna say it was numbers dyslexia, whatever that's called.
Let's see.
Number Lexia.
Puerto Rico.
I just get extremely irritated about how they will throw around that white supremacist terrorist.
1954. March 1st.
54? Okay.
Because
But yeah, so. Okay.
No, go ahead. Mine's just the rant.
So. They had, like, the Puerto Rican separatists. They had leftist extremists, but they were broken up into all the various groups. So, Weather Underground, the various communist terrorist groups, the various socialist terrorist groups, all that good shit broken up. Which, by the way, when I went through the full data for it, if you summed up all the left-wing extremist groups, they committed more acts of terror than the right-wing extremist groups that they grouped up. But even if you were to go and just say, okay, it's 1/3 was Islamic extremists, and I'll just say 2/3 were white extremism. Which, by the way, have you noticed that they've started to say that 2/3 are this? I think it's people that did the same bit of math that I did were saying this, and then other people were too fucking stupid to realize that they were saying, okay, even if I give them 2/3, they just went, oh, it's 2/3, rather than realizing it was a hypothetical. But even if you said white extremists did 2/3 of all the terrorist attacks, which the study did not say in the slightest, it ended up being that white supremacist extremists would be less than 1/27th as likely to commit a terrorist attack as an Islamic extremist.
It offends me because whenever they use that the white supremacist term so loosely to to categorize something because I have to drive by that building every day, where that building stood every day.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes me sick. To also drive by that's only like 3 blocks from there, buildings that are still damaged from the 2020 rioting.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm told that somebody saying something mean on Twitter is the equivalent of somebody that blew up a building of 168 people inside, but the person that burned down the building 4 blocks from there was a peaceful fucking protester.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes me fucking sick. I mean, how can... I always try to figure out some way to justify why they're saying things like this, but I'm beginning to just keep saying they're fucking evil. And
It's just that they're lying. There's no other way around it, because the data that they publish that started this whole narrative, the data sure as shit didn't say it. Even if you tried to steel man the argument, it still didn't say it. And in fact, when you looked at the data, the groups that they're saying do not exist had committed more acts of terrorism than the groups that they're saying are the greatest threat to the United States.
So if you want to talk about, use their logic on we're just going to label all of these people that we're just going to label them all terrorists. Okay, we'll use your techniques. I'm going to label everybody in the Democrat Party pedophiles. You're all kitty diddlers. You're all child groomers. And if you're not wanting to dibble them, you're wanting to murder them in the womb. So make up your mind. Do you want to go down that route? Because one's easier for us to prove than the other. We got a lot more evidence on y'all. I don't want to go down that route because it's terrible, but it's almost getting to the point that I just want to start shouting people that bring up these stupid arguments with me. It's like, well, what about this? No, you're fucking stupid, or you're a pedophile. Pick one.
And like I said, one of the things that pisses me off the most about the Buffalo shooting and the coverage of it, so not of the shooting itself. The thing that pisses me off the most about the shooting itself is that it fucking happened. But the thing that pisses me off the most about the coverage of it is they keep on trying to say, yeah, he was a right-wing extremist. He was a self-confessed, totalitarian leftist. That is what he stated in his fucking manifesto.
I haven't read it, so I know other people have said that, and I'm not saying that I don't believe their accounts of what they read or claim to have read, but if I don't get a chance to read it myself, I feel like I don't want to talk about what somebody proclaimed in their manifesto.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Which is why I keep wanting to get me and Johnny to do a stream where we just read the Unabomber manifesto.
Mm-hmm. The thing is that I haven't read the entire thing. I've read a portion of it, and one of the parts that I've read is the part where he says, I used to identify as a communist. So the people that are saying that he identified as a communist, not quite accurate. The left came out and said, well, he said that he used to, not that he does, which means that they read this same section. But after he says, I used to consider myself a communist, but, and then he explains why he no longer views himself as a communist, I now consider myself part of the authoritarian left, was how he phrased it.
Hey Johnny,
Yes.
I got a palate cleanser for whenever we get done talking about the Buffalo shooter.
I have one too, but we'll go with yours.
Well, mine's a screen share.
Okay. Oh, I see. So yeah, we'll finish that first.
I saw Now This. I don't know if any of you guys follow them on Twitter, but I do because they have a lot of dumb leftist stuff that they consider news. But sometimes they also have some actually like good stories. Like, oh, that's nice, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I saw apparently the Buffalo shooter was in court and somebody called him a coward. But I thought it was funny the way that Now This, described it. They said, the Buffalo shooter who killed 10 black people in a supermarket. I was like, okay, I haven't been paying attention to the story, but even I know that's bullshit right from the jump.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't 10 black people. There were white people that got shot too.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, maybe if I win the lottery, I'm gonna buy a newspaper, and what we're gonna do? Print the fucking news.
Yep.
And when we do fact checking, you know what we're gonna do? When we do fact checking, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna check the fucking facts.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Oh, and make sure that if you do put any kind of opinion piece in there that it is labeled opinion.
Well, you don't want a perspective.
I
You don't want what's the other ones they use? That they've gotten so many different names that they've
perspective, editorial, opinion piece.
Well, okay. I don't see. So see, sometimes I don't mind things like
Editorial.
that. I mean, if they label it, I was like, okay, this is what my opinion of this thing is, but this is an opinion. But you have an entire news channels that are trying to fill up 24 hours of coverage, and a lot of times it is them babbling back and forth, creating nonsensical news.
Because people don't want to read.
So speaking of news and newspapers, while I was cleaning up in this back office that I've set up in with my computer and whatnot, I found a couple of old newspapers. Right, one was from like '93, one was from '94,
Mm-hmm.
and the one from '93 actually had an AP wire about Clinton sending in troops to Somalia.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was the '94 one had another one talking about Clinton, how he was talking about Ginsburg, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, being pro-choice.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, huh, maybe, with the Somalia story, because you guys know that we committed to sending more ground troops to Somalia, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like maybe Joe's dementia just makes him think it's the early '90s again. You know, maybe he doesn't remember Black Hawk Down and all that stuff. Maybe he thinks we're finally going to go get Mohammed Farah Aidid.
But I'm still stuck on the whole fucking editorializing. The reason why I don't like editorializing, editorials and everything else, is because I was in college for journalism for a very short period of time.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned one thing very, very fast in communication and journalism courses is most of them are really fucking stupid.
Yep.
And it's kind of hard to have an informed opinion about something if you do not know anything other than how to make an make an opinion about something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't have a problem with editorials, in theory. I have a problem with how they're done, because it's one thing if you have an editorial that you clearly mark as the editorial. It's one thing to have an opinion as a journalist that you clearly mark as, this is my opinion. It's an entirely different fucking thing when you're saying, this is the news, and then you're just telling your opinion.
It's like, okay, give me the news on page 1, and then on page 5, you can come in and give me your explanation of what you think the news means to me.
Well, who reads page 5?
Exactly, because then it doesn't fucking matter. But here's the thing: is like when the Roe opinion leaked, I stayed up until 3 o'clock in the morning reading through every fucking page of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I have people that are coming at me, including in my own house, saying things like, "Well, this was in it." It's like, no, I read it.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, well, you're not a constitutional scholar. It's like, have you ever understood that the Constitution was not really fucking be written to the point that you had to be a specialist to read it? It's not that difficult.
Travis.
What? Sorry. I didn't mean it that way. Well,
they can't wrap their heads around shall not be infringed. That's all I got to say.
He has a point.
Oh yeah, that shall not be infringed. Oh well, what they mean? No, shall not be infringed.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys can bend 5 different fucking amendments around to justify abortion, you can figure out shall not be infringed. How is that difficult?
Second Amendment probably 27 words. That's all it is. 27 words.
Probably the thing that I love the most about them trying to find ways to infringe the Second Amendment is with what we have now, it would have been like if they were allowing people to get cannons, and they wouldn't have allowed people to get cannons.
You could have your own fucking warship.
Sweet summer child.
Oh, okay.
Allowed warships, they allowed cannons, they allowed Gatling guns.
Okay, here's the deal about this.
Puckle guns? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I was about to bring that up. The Puckle gun. That was developed way, I don't know, but it was in constitutional times. They knew that there was going to be automatic firearms eventually.
1718.
Yeah. So that means that they knew that existed. So the idea is like, well, they could not foresee a gun that can fire 50 rounds a minute. No, I'm pretty sure that they would have fucking wet themselves at that opportunity.
Yeah, and like I said, they allowed for fully armed warships, and the time that they allowed fully armed warships was not just the letter of marque. There was another incident where someone wrote to them effectively going, "Hey, am I allowed a fully armed warship?" And their response was, "What? We wrote the Second Amendment. Why are you asking us? What the fuck is wrong with you? Did we goddamn stutter?"
And here's the other thing is like they'll come up to me and it's like, well, do you really think that the average person with the AR-15 can take on the military with their warplanes and their everything else? It's like, have you paid attention to any of the wars that we have fought against?
Afghanistan, Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I'm just gonna laugh in goat herder and rice farmer from now on, dude.
Yeah. We've had our.
I'm trying to remember which African conflict it was, because there was an African conflict where it was one nation fielded a shit ton of Toyota trucks. The other nation had what was at the time modern air support and armor. Do you guys know which side won that conflict?
Toyotas.
The fucking Toyota trucks, exactly.
I'm pretty sure there's one person in this group right now that has a Toyota. I'm not sure which one of you do.
I used to.
Yeah,
I buy American.
But the
Not
other
the Toyota Hilux, it's indestructible.
and the other thing that gets to me is like the other argument they'll bring up is like, would you allow them to own a tank? Would you allow other people to own a nuclear weapon? Camel, Hellcat, Sanguine, I would not be bothered if you guys owned a nuke.
You would be bothered if I owned a nuke.
It depends on
It depends on the day, but you'd be bothered.
I'd be pissed off if you owned a tank and you didn't offer to give me a ride at least once.
If I owned a nuke, you guys would be keeping me in plenty of weed and cigarettes to make sure I didn't get an itchy trigger finger just to hit that button once.
Now, days like today I had at work, Camel. If I would have been like, hey, Camel, go for it.
I've got a globe on this desk, and if I don't have enough nicotine, I'm just going to spin it, and whichever poor country my finger lands on, yeah.
This is a likeness of the vehicle that I had previously owned.
Oh, since we are speaking of weapons and whatnot, you want to go ahead and pull that palate cleanser up, Johnny?
Yeah.
After you show them the approximation of your...
Add a little. It was blue. Add a little, and by a little I mean a lot, of rust. And there was some bars in the back here.
I mean, I would assassin, but I live too close to Texas. I don't want to have to deal with any of the fallout.
And
you mean
power
France?
No
Never
power
mind.
steering.
Never mind.
And a manual.
France is a silly country. It lost 3 wars in a row to the same country. It shouldn't exist anymore.
He said hit Paris, and I just immediately started thinking of Texas. I was like, I'm a little too close for that.
I stand by my assessment, though. It lost 3 wars to the same country in a row.
And for those of you in chat who can't see because Johnny has, us on the TV tonight, this is why Stargate is better than Star Trek. It says on the top there with Riker and Picard and Data, the Prime Directive forbids us from interfering. We cannot share our technology. And then you got SG-1 down there at the bottom says, all of your gods are false. Here, take these guns.
Nice.
I think I used the wrong palette when I put it in chat.
That's the difference between Starfleet and the United States Air Force, folks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're currently just cleaning a forklift pallet there.
Same. I stick with it though. I like that one. It's a great video.
All right. Since we're off of the serious stuff and trying to have fun, Travis, what do you feed that cat?
That cat is just it's just regular.
Okay, how much do you feed that cat then?
Maybe like a cup, a cup, 2 cups a day, in the morning and afternoon.
Huh.
I have no idea how she gains weight. She doesn't. She is not. She is like the least food.
I hear them meow. Like, oh, you're talking
show
about
off
me.
my chunk.
She's just exceptionally lazy, and she has to go to her cardiologist on the 6th.
Now,
The cat has a.
I did see your other post here. Let's see if I can pull that one up.
Yep.
Who was that from?
Or at the very least, it's a good way to join the Middle Eastern space race.
That was Travis.
They haven't been very successful yet, but one of these days they'll find a building tall enough.
Every time I think about that going on in the Middle East, I just think of that Tom Petty song, Learning to Fly.
Mm-hmm. It's just one of those things that's also evidence that they don't give a shit about what they talk about, because they'll act like, oh yeah, the biggest threat to gays in the world right now is that there are people that think that gay sex is kind of icky. Meanwhile, people are being thrown off buildings. But no, fuck you. You don't want to hear about someone absolutely bashing in the back doors of their boyfriend? What are you, some kind of homophobe? No, there's... God damn it, people.
I don't want to hear straight people talking about it either, for the most part. You know, like,
Yeah.
I'm opposed to all forms of PDA. Like, if I'm out in public, I don't want to see you sticking your tongue down somebody's throat. I don't care if they're the same sex or the opposite.
Amen.
You know?
Yeah, the only people who I'm interested in what they do sexually are people that I want to do something with them sexually. And even then, I don't care about what they've done with other people. In fact, I don't want to hear about it. I want to do things with them, not hear about what they've done with someone else.
And the last one is kind of funny.
Yeah, that is. It's pretty straightforward here.
And Assassin was mentioning the Giordani air rifle, which, yes, that is another example.
Oh, I saw a video earlier today. I don't really look up a bunch of gun stuff on YouTube, so I don't know why it showed up on my homepage. And don't ask me the name of the channel. I'd have to go look through my history to find it, and even then I probably couldn't pronounce it. But they were shooting glass slugs out of a 12 gauge.
Talk about Jorg Sprav.
So I was saying, what?
Jorg, is it Sprav?
The slingshot channel.
No, not a slingshot channel.
Did he say, "Let me show you its features"?
No. Oh, no. I know who you're talking about now. Not that guy. No, these were a couple of American dudes. Let me pull up my
Calflater Mouse.
That's the one.
Yes, I love those. I sent a T-shirt to Sinatra. It said California Ballistics, high and to the left.
Nice.
Travis, you want to put that name of the channel in a chat for us to ask what it was, and I hadn't even pulled up the history yet when you said it.
I don't know how to spell it.
He can say it, but he can't spell it.
Oklahoma Public Education, folks. Two shining examples here.
Were they at least attractive assassin, or were they the standard sort? Something tells me they were the standard sort, wearing flannel and built like linebackers.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's like the only time you ever see two cute lesbians is in a porno. I mean,
sometimes in college, but yeah, for the most part.
One of them's probably just a lug, though. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought those they were real life lesbians. Yeah. So 3s and 4s at best.
Wearing flannel, built like a linebacker. Got you.
Got that smoker's talk.
Okay, I put it in there, but
Assassin also put the channel in there too.
And he has a wrench too.
Yep.
Yes, he does.
But yeah, I thought it was cool because it was a fairly short video. Like there wasn't a whole lot of build up to it. They gave a shout out to the guy who made them and sent them into them, and it was just cool because like it went through like a level 3 Kevlar vest.
Nice.
Yeah.
They're one of my favorite gun channels because they're not really weird about it.
Are we talking about the lesbians or the YouTube channel? No.
The YouTube channel.
They weren't talking fast enough for the YouTube channel to be meth heads. Sorry, he must be talking about the lesbians. But
Six one, half dozen the other.
I was sitting there like, man, you know, I kind of wish I had some of those, and I kind of wish somebody was dumb enough to break into my house. I could have fun explaining that to the cops.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, well, it was 3 o'clock in the morning. You know, I heard something rummaging around in the backyard. Came out with my scatter gun and started blasting.
I love calling them scatter guns.
Called a street sweeper for a reason.
That's like how I think it's Kentucky Ballistics is doing his series on interesting shotgun ammos. He'll get like 5 or 6 different sort in each video and shoot his zombie bust with them and see how much damage they do. He completely chopped off the head of his zombie bust and split it in half during the last one that I watched.
What I thought was cool was like the guy who made those shells for him. He had like pieces of wire and nails and stuff in the center of the glass. So, I mean, like some of the glass did shatter, and it was coming out of the barrel.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that's also kind of nice too, because now you've got like just powdered glass dispersed in their eyes and shit.
Here's what would happen with an intruder, another intruder in my house.
Why, when you said that, did I just get flashbacks of Rotten.com?
Oh no, I never. My house. I actually had like a home invasion robbery, and somebody like broke into my house and was like carrying a knife.
You know,
fun.
when I was in elementary school, it's been 4th, 5th grade, sometime.
Mm-hmm.
A bunch of kids when we go to computer class, they would hop onto Rotten.com after doing their computer work.
Mm-hmm.
And so the teachers, they thought they were going to be smart, and they put like the parental locks or whatever on there, right? Like this website is you can't go there.
Mm-hmm.
It was hilarious to me, and probably part of one of the earliest things that made me say, you know what, I probably don't want to have kids. Because it took no time at all for my classmates to figure out the workaround of like, well, if I just find out what the IP address for the website is, and I just type that in instead, I can go right past that.
Very nice.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, kids are too smart. It was weird because like, wow, you guys are really smart when you're motivated. But you're also really dumb, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, somebody once kicked in my back door with nothing but a knife. That's their weapon. They had a knife. This is Oklahoma, and you just went into somebody's house carrying nothing but a fucking knife? Are you fucking retarded?
Well, I mean, you remember that story out of Broken Arrow? I don't know how many years back. Like 4 teenage boys broke into a house in like the afternoon time, and were shot dead by a guy with an AR-15.
Oh yeah.
Good on him.
Well, the thing of it was, like, apparently this guy, he was staying at his father's house. It was an inside job too. Like the reason why this house got hit by these teenagers was the getaway driver was some 20-year-old chick who knew the son of the homeowner. Now the homeowner's out of the house, the son's asleep. I think he worked nights or something like that. And so they're like, okay, well, we'll just go in and you guys go around back, you know, kick in the door, whatever. And they brought like pocket knives and brass knuckles.
Mm-hmm.
And like they woke him up out of a dead sleep. He grabbed his rifle, pop, 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 pop. They're all dead. And what I thought was funny was like one of the dead kids, his grandfather was on the news saying like it wasn't a fair fight. It's like, yeah, there were 4 of them, motherfucker.
Well, burglaries are not supposed to be fair fights. I mean, that's not how that works. Mine wasn't that fair. I didn't have a gun, but I did have a book, and I also had a baseball bat.
I mean, this wasn't a Michael Jackson video. They weren't like one-on-one, like tying off and having a knife fight in the middle of the fucking street. These guys broke in while he was asleep with knives and brass knuckles. What the fuck was the kid with the brass knuckles going to do? What was he planning, huh? It wasn't a fair fight. No, it wasn't. It was a fucking felony, and they got what they deserved.
Mm-hmm.
But the getaway driver chick, I saw people trying to like, why is she getting charged with 4 counts of murder? Because she was the getaway driver in a felonious fucking act that resulted in 4 deaths.
Yep.
Like, you don't have to be a legal scholar to figure this one out, numbnuts.
And if you are an accomplice in an event that results in death, you get charged with the murders.
And especially if they're felonies, on top of that, yeah, it's felony murder.
Yeah.
I mean, like she, you know, if we actually, you know, like Oklahoma's like the 3rd leading state in death penalty executions, behind Virginia and Texas. But we've really taken our foot off the gas on that one. If ever there was a prime candidate to ride the lightning, I'd nominate her, just on sheer stupidity.
Yeah, the only way that you get out of felony murder is if one of the other numbnuts survives and you turn state's evidence.
But like, there have been more than a few stories like that have come out of Oklahoma. There was one, I don't remember where it was in the state, but it was, you know, it was a mother, a young mother. I think she was living in a trailer. She's calling 911, you know, to report, you know, these 2 guys trying to break into her house. You know, she's got her, you know, small children with her alone. And she's asking the operator, like, okay, I've got a shotgun. Am I going to get in trouble if I have to shoot these people? And like the operator's like, I can't tell you one way or the other. All I can tell you is do what you think you got to do. If you think you got to shoot these people to keep your kids safe, do it.
Oh, we also had that one up here in Edmond where a guy broke into a person's house naked and high on PCP.
I'd shoot him on principle.
Well,
wouldn't even have to worry about fearing for my life. Like, there's a naked druggie in my house. Bang, bang.
The guy unloaded his pistol into him, and the guy still managed to run outside and make it 3 blocks before he finally just like, oh, wait a minute, I should be dead.
That guy really needs to work on his grouping.
Well, you are legally required to shoot him.
But yeah, I like to point out those 2 cases to people whenever I see them online arguing about, you know, you don't use an AR-15 for home defense. Yeah, you do. I know a guy who used it 4 times in one go.
Well, and you get that guy from, what was it, Florida? He's like, yeah, sometimes I wish they would just shoot him. Like,
Well, no. I think it was a Louis Theroux documentary or something. Like he was talking. I want to say it was him, but maybe it was just BBC in general. Like they went to Chicago, right? Trying to get an understanding of like the gun violence and shootings and everything going on there. And they had like one OG dude just like, yeah, some people need to die. You know, some of these guys just need to die. There's nothing, you know, there's no rehabilitating them. You know, there's no fixing them. They just need to go.
Are you familiar with the idea of old porch sitting men and how they relate to the increase in crime?
No.
So it's something that I can't remember who wrote about this, but there was someone who realized one of the major things that has fallen off when it comes to looking at the black community is the existence of what they called old porch sitting men, which were just old men that reached the point where they couldn't work anymore. So they would sit around outside of their home, just watching everyone go about their day. And you see these in really rural communities still, where you'll have the grandpa or the older guy who just sits on the porch, and if he sees a kid start doing something they shouldn't be doing, suddenly hear that, hey, knock that shit off.
See, Dave Chappelle made that joke and kill him softly. You know, if you do try to break a law, you know, some old black male jump out of bushes. Don't do that. That's 5 to 10.
Yeah, and it used to be this common thing, and you still see this in suburbs. You still see this in rural communities, in other groups, and even in black communities, as long as they're rural or suburban communities. But this has almost completely fallen out in cities. And that used to be one of the things that kind of helped normalize people and help socialize people, especially people that didn't have the benefit of having two parents. If they didn't have a father in the home, well, there were these elders in their community that would just be the block father, effectively. And I was talking about how they've fallen out of the norm, and as they've fallen out and become rarer and rarer, the crime rate has increased. It was an interesting thought on it. I'm not sure exactly how much it holds out, but I think that it does have at least some part to play.
You want to know why they fell out? They're probably worried about getting shot, so they stayed off the fucking porch and in the house.
That's part of it.
Go
ahead.
I bet crime rates increased in some of those communities when air conditioning got cheaper.
How do you figure?
Well, if you're not out on the porch all the time, you're inside in your nice, cool house, you're not looking at what's going on.
Possibly.
I mean, if they can blame it on leaded gas, then I can blame it on air conditioning.
Mm-hmm.
It is sexist, you know.
Did they actually go ahead and pass the abortion bill, Travis?
Yep.
I thought I saw that earlier today. That Oklahoma passes the nation's strictest abortion law. Like, well, before that passed, you guys were comparing it to Texas. Like, so obviously it's not the strictest, is it? Or are you saying it's like it's tied? Like, Texas and Oklahoma are tied, like 1 and 1A.
Well, ours is going right up until the stage of conception, which...
Yeah, I was about to say, I thought yours went to conception.
I thought it was 6 weeks. I thought it was 6 weeks.
No, today's was conception.
Oh, that's news to me then.
The moment the eggs get splattered, you aren't allowed to abort.
Well, when I worked at I worked night shift at Walgreens, and
a lot of folks buying condoms.
Well, when I worked there, there was a lot of people buying condoms, but you know what? The most commonly stolen thing we had was Plan B.
What was funny to me working at a retail shop was women would come up there and real quiet, like they'd come up to the register and be like, "Yeah, where are the pregnancy tests?" And that was my favorite part of the job was these meek women asking, where are the pregnancy tests? Like trying to be all like, on the down low about it.
Pregnancy tests are in aisle 4, man.
Well, no, because I've got a fairly deep voice, and I've been told that it carries quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, just as loud as I could, I'm like, "Oh, ma'am, the pregnancy tests are right over there by the condoms. They're right next to the condoms. You see, right over there."
Right across from the lube.
Well, you know,
Because they were literally right next to the condoms. Like, if you had just taken an extra second to survey the shelf, you wouldn't need to buy that, ma'am.
Price check on VegClean. That's a price check on VegClean.
they would put the Plan B in the plastic boxes that they used to put DVDs in at Walmart.
Oh yeah.
And like about once a week, I would be like sitting at the counter and I'd hear smash, and I'd see some kid run out the door with one, and I'm like, man, what? I don't care. That's one less that I have to worry about in this world.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Like I didn't get paid enough to be security as well as a cashier as well as a stalker. So it's like 2 out of 3. That's all you're getting. Like, I'm not chasing somebody down because they wanted to steal, this, that, or the other. But what got me was like everyone's like, where do you guys keep the baby formula? It's like behind the register. Well, why do you keep it back there? Because you bitches steal.
Mm-hmm.
Why else would we keep it behind the register?
That just reminded me of the image that I've seen from California of all the various things behind lock and key, with the exception of one very specific product. Anyone care to guess what one product was not behind
Condoms.
lock and key? Nope. Sunscreen. The only
I
thing
can make assumptions as to why that is, but I'm not gonna.
Behind lock and key was sunscreen.
I'm not gonna do it. Not gonna do it.
I remember back when I was a dishwasher in high school. I was taking a friend of mine home, and he's like, "Yeah, stop off at the gas station. I gotta talk to a buddy of mine." And it's around 2, 3 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And so we stop off at the gas station. This lady walks in. She's drunk as fuck. And she comes in and she's all like making eyes at the guy, and she's like leaning over the thing, just making out with him, and I'm like watching, like, okay. And then she's like, okay, well, how much for this? And he's just like, all right, let's take a beep, 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 beep. And she bought like a pop and God, what else? Like, not much. And she's like, yeah, this is 24 something or other. And she goes, oh man, why is this so expensive? And he goes, taxes. And she leaves, and he just starts laughing. And I'm like, what? And he goes, when she was leaning over making out with me, like, she was pocketing cigarettes, but she didn't think that I saw, so I just put them on her tab.
Nice.
Now, I remember I was working for the tribe at one of the travel plazas, and a lady came in after we stopped selling alcohol. Because Travis can back me up on this. Oklahoma, we stopped selling alcohol at 2 a.m. But the Choctaw Nation, not wanting to risk losing their liquor license, they cut it off at 1:45. So any casino, travel plaza, any establishment that they have that serves alcohol, last call is 1:45, and all alcoholic beverages have to be off the floor before 2 a.m. They're not taking any chances. So this lady rolls into my travel plaza, drunk off her ass, easily more than 3 sheets, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she's trying to buy booze, and I'm telling her, like, ma'am, it's past time. I can't sell that to you. Well, my cousin is so-and-so, and they're on the tribal council, and I'm going to call them and complain about you if you don't let me buy this. Like, and by this point, I've been working there for a while, and so like third shift is always fun because you can fuck around. Nobody cares about third shift as long as you get all your work done, right?
Yeah.
And also had the benefit of having armed security at the ready.
Mm-hmm.
Because every travel plaza is right next to a casino.
Yeah.
But so like I'm a smart ass, and she's like, I'll call my cousin on the tribal council. Like, well, my cousin's the chief, lady. My cousin's dick is bigger than your cousin's dick. Go ahead and call him. You're still not getting that alcohol.
I've gotten to the age when people like complain about me doing stuff. It's like, I'm going to complain. Go for it. I don't care.
Well, the best part is like I guess I said it with enough gusto that one, she kind of like stopped in her tracks. She's like, and thankfully, like, security came in to do their rounds right about that time. I was like, would you go ahead and get this drunk lady out of here? She's trying to buy alcohol. It's past time. She needs to go. And they get her on her way. And one of my coworkers comes to me and is like, I didn't know your cousin was a chief. I was like, I'm not related to the fucking chief.
Mm-hmm.
You lied to that lady? She was fucking drunk. She's not gonna remember.
Well, I used to work for this company, Cons. I'll just mention them. Cons. Worst name ever for a rent-to-own company. Cons.
Con!
I hate the
Now, was it spelled Khan as in Genghis, or was it spelled Khan as in X?
It's like C-O...
The artist formerly known as...
apostrophe S.
Okay, so it was spelled Khans as in X.
Yeah. Well,
With
so
an
what I
extra
did...
N.
Yeah. So, I went in there. I'd have to go to people's houses and approve or disapprove warranty work. And I've had so many people fucking threaten me because I would say, well, I'm not covering it under warranty. And they're like, well, why not? Well, because the fucking roaches ate it. Well, I'm going to call your boss. Here's my phone. Call him. I don't care. What's he going to do? He's in Houston. I always hated that. I'm just going to call it. Like, no, you're not. And where's it going to get you? Yeah. But I used to work third shift at Walgreens at it was also full-on 24-hour pharmacy, so we've had to clean up a fair bit of vomit, too. And there was something in the women's bathroom that still haunts me. But what the fuck was I talking about?
That is the question.
Yeah.
It started with Khans.
Oh, that place just sets me off. That's the worst place I worked. And I worked at Amazon and Walmart.
I know exactly what the worst place I've ever worked is, but it's a very specific company. It's a large, very specific company, but a very specific company. So I'm not going to say its name. But I will say, oh, good God, the shit that they tried to make people do. A good chunk of it illegal.
You know, I fell into a like this new this not new. My new job is an old, just Ma and Pa appliance shop in town, and I'm like, and somehow they managed to like pay me more than most of the corporations I worked for, and I worked for fucking LG.
Well, see, I'm sitting here reading chat, completely off topic, and Assassin is wishing he could have drafted Kyle Rittenhouse for his squad in the army. I'm just like, yeah, it'd probably be like kickball. I'd get picked last as usual.
He ended up 3 for 3. He got a chomo, a wife beater, and just an absolute fuck that was also doing a shit ton of domestics.
Well, like with Assassin saying, his maturity is what I want. It's like, yep, I'm definitely getting picked last.
Quick test. Balls, poop, fart. You're laughing, you're out.
Damn it.
Curse.
That second thing I put in chat, no, yeah, the Grim Dark. It's a video that I sent you the other day, Johnny.
For which one?
It is it's the one right above my misspelled palette cleanser.
Assassin says, rule 1, get in shape. Round is not an authorized shape. Well, shit. Combat is exhausting and the lazy die. I actually did weigh myself for the first time in God knows how long the other day, and yeah, I'm a fat ass.
I think we watched that one a couple weeks ago.
Oh, we did?
Because you sent it to me in the message.
So what sort of scale did you get that beyond a certain weight it just comes back fat ass?
It's one of the old like doctor scales where you like you push the weight along until it's balances out. Yeah. See, I've been cleaning and organizing Nana Camel's house, and yeah, in one of the back hall closets, just like, you realize you have a full on fucking doctor's office scale back there? Does it work? It says I'm fat, so I'm gonna say yes.
Nice.
That's actually that would actually be kind of cool to have around the house.
So
You guys want to You guys want to do a Price is Right on Camel's weight?
all right. Let's see. I'll say 240.
Sanguine?
I was going to let Travis go first.
Oh,
and then I
okay,
was going
Travis,
to-
go ahead.
Okay, I first have to ask, how long have you been on YouTube?
Was it 2018, Johnny? When we did the first stream?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
Yeah, I
gonna
think so.
shoot for about. I'll shoot for about 220.
Yesterday was my 5-year anniversary on Twitter, so.
Yeah, so 220.
He is saying he's a fat ass. I'm going at least 275.
Travis wins 221.
Ah.
I still use the BMI to try and figure out how fat I am.
I don't.
According to the BMI, I should be around like 180, 185, and I'm 221. So yeah.
I do not use the BMI because I have one of those builds that it does not matter how
it
thin
doesn't.
I would ever get.
It doesn't help me either because I'm 6'2", so like 180, like you're playing my rib cage like a xylophone at that point.
Oh yeah.
Now, do we remember how much I said I weighed?
I'm gonna say somewhere around 240 because you're putting me there. That's yeah.
I'll guess 241 just to be an asshole.
I forgot because I'm sure we've talked about it before, Johnny, but you've also been doing the Muay Thai and whatnot, so I figure you've lost some weight since then.
Well, you guys can see me, so it'd be easier for y'all to guess. So
actually, you are all way off. I am at this time 290.
Oh shit! You weigh more than I do currently.
And it's funny because people will look at me and they'll be like, "Yeah, you weigh about maybe 240, 250," and I'm like, "You'll have to keep going."
Well, see, I mean, because I'm tall, like no one ever assumes I weigh as much as I do. They always think I'm, I've had people say it's like, I don't know, 180, 190. It's like, I wish.
Yeah, when I was up in the like 320 something range, people would normally guess that I was in the 250s or like 240s to 250s.
All my density is in my legs.
I've gotten fatter. I've hit 210, which meant that I had to go get new jack stands for the garage because I was pushing those Harbor Freight jack stands a little bit too much for my taste.
For me, the problem is, as has been stated many, many times, I'm a giant dwarf. Just Tolkien dwarf, scaled up, 6'1". All the dimensions in relation to each other are kept exactly the same. So, you know how dwarves are ridiculously broad from shoulder to shoulder? Yeah. I take up a doorway from shoulder to shoulder effectively.
That's funny. My youngest, he's hitting his growth spurt, but when he was a baby, I used to call him my little knuckle dragger.
Mm-hmm.
Because up until I'd say about a year, when he hit, when you leave that month stage for the T stage for for baby clothes. He was still in, I think it was 16 to 18 week pants while he was in like 2 toddler shirts.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because he just had these tiny legs.
Yep.
And it was funny because, he wasn't actually literally dragging his knuckles, but if he had been able to hunch over a little bit, he probably could have.
Yeah, when it comes to my legs, I have ridiculously short legs. I mean,
Parenting,
Camel, you're a little bit taller than I am by an inch. How long is your inseam?
My jeans size, 32, 34.
Okay, so you have a 34-inch inseam.
Well, actually, now that I'm getting fat, I'm a 34.
But you have a 34-inch inseam. So, what would you guess my inseam would be at 6'1"?
I'm clearly shorter.
I'm gonna guess you're probably like monkeying. You're like a 29 or something like that.
I wish my legs were that long. I have a 27-inch inseam at 6'1".
So you got like that Johnny Bravo build, like the wide shoulders and the itty bitty legs.
Oh yeah, quite literally, my inseam is shorter than my thigh circumference.
If we ever meet and you don't say "Whoa, Mama," I will be completely disappointed.
My mama warned me about girls like you. I'm hoping she was right.
Yeah, my thigh circumference is 30 inches.
How do you even buy pants, dude?
It's difficult. I have to buy them and then hem the ever-living shit out of the bottom.
Because I used to have a special order mine for being, such a long inseam and a small waist. Like you had short, fat people, you had tall, fat people, and you had short, skinny people. There was no tall, skinny people, apparently, where I grew up.
Yep. Yeah. For me, I have to buy my pants as the loose fit pants. That way they actually fit the fucking circumference of my legs. Because, as I mentioned last Friday, you guys know the term hypertrophic, right?
I do. I just can't remember.
So you all know what atrophy is,
Mm-hmm.
right? So atrophy means that your muscles have shrunk, so you become hypotrophic. Hypo meaning less than normal. So less than normal muscle mass. A hypertrophic is when your muscles are overly developed. So you know how bodybuilders, when they flex their calves, you can see the individual lobes of their calves?
Okay.
I have bodybuilder calves and bodybuilder thighs, where when I flex my thigh, you can see the individual muscles that make up my thigh, and they completely differentiate from each other.
Yeah. See,
I
I
just-
had like them Popeye forearms and calf muscles,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
it was funny because like I knew a few IV drug users back in the day, and they're like, "Oh
Mhm.
man, what I would do for your veins!" I'm like, "I don't want to know what you would do for my veins. Get the fuck away from me."
Yep. Yeah, I have the veins that kind of bulge out of my forearms. I have veins that bulge out of my feet and ankles and in different sections of my leg just because I have that hypertrophic bodybuilder muscle
Oh,
definition of my legs.
I still fit in my uniform. I mean, I still have T-shirts from high school that fit, so I'm not super fat yet. You know that's my ultimate test is like, can I still fit into that concert tee that I bought in 2007? Okay.
But yeah, probably two of the best ways to explain how fucking weird my body's scaling is how much of your foot does your ankle take up?
Um,
Like when you're looking at the top of your foot, from how much of it is taken up by just the length of your ankle?
not much, but then again, like I've got I got them big feet, so
Yeah, I have fairly good sized feet,
you
and
have cankles. You have cankles.
my ankle's 50% of my foot. And it's not like I have ridiculously small feet. It's not like I have size 8 or size 9 feet. No, I have a respectable 11 and a half or 12 double E foot. And half my foot is my ankle. And it's not fat. It is just, that's the size of the bones for my goddamn body. You know your collarbone? The
Yes,
average
the
human
clavicle. Yes.
Yep. The average human clavicle is about an inch in diameter. Mine is north of 2.5 inches in diameter.
So you're just like a bacon wrapped tank, is what you're saying. Okay.
Oh yeah, I am, like I said, a Tolkien dwarf that's 6'1". I am a fantasy dwarf that is tall. Because everything about me is just built thicker and bigger. My fucking middle fingers, ring sizes, right?
Not really. I know. I've got. Like I've got my mother's high school graduation ring,
Yep.
and like it fits around my pinky. So
So
I
from what
never really got into rings. It feels weird on my hands.
from what I remember, Johnny mentioned that his wedding band is like a 12, right?
Yes.
So
11 or 12.
my pinkies are 11s, which means that my pinkies are about the same size as Johnny's ring fingers. My middle fingers are size 16s. Jewelry stores carry at the highest end maybe size 13.
Hey, Drunkle, what's going on?
Hey, Drunkle.
Hey, Drunkle.
How you doing, man?
No, I do have a story that I've been trying to I've been wanting to introduce.
You're the host, man. Get to it.
You know,
just tell us to shut the fuck up.
We get swept
Fucking
up in the
interrupt
conversation, and it's just how it goes.
Fucking interrupt us. Or are we at the point now, Camel, where we have to continue talking about random bullshit so that he's never actually able to tell the story that he's meaning to tell?
No,
that
just
stops
stops me. That just stops me from
thing.
closing the show out.
That's fine with me. I pretty much make my own hours doing what I do. So go ahead, Sanguine, fire away.
So, Travis, are you on board with this? We just keep on talking about random shit so that he's never able to actually tell his story?
You know, I have mute buttons here.
I basically talk about random shit whenever I'm on here anyways. So.
Exactly. But yeah, how you doing, Drunkle? I think this is... Or it's been a while since I've last seen you in chat. Everything going well on your end?
I would imagine not. He's up at 6 in the morning.
True.
It's 7, right? I think GMT is like 6 hours ahead of Central, if I'm not mistaken.
Are you still up, or are you recently up? Because those...
It's either a long night or an early morning. One of the two.
And the long nights are much better than the early mornings, in my opinion. And we keep on pausing every so often to see if Johnny's actually going to take advantage of it, but Johnny's trying to be very polite.
Actually, I was distracted looking at the world clock on my phone.
Nice.
I was confirming that it was, in fact, 6 a.m. No, actually, yeah. We haven't spoken to Drunkle since the London Hughes thing.
I fully expect him to never answer one of my DMs again.
Well, he just DM'd me and he says he wants in and he can shake it up.
If he wants in, I can. Yeah, I'll send him a link.
Okay.
Yeah, if he's willing to jump on, that would be a good time.
Yeah.
I am not opposed.
What's funny is like when Drunkle did come on for the torture stream, you know, he flat told us and anybody in chat is like, I was gonna blow it off, but you know he's like he kept like messaging me. It's like, I mean, if he said like if he told me, it's like, yeah, never mind, I don't want to do it. I'm like, okay, cool, you know, but.
Mm-hmm.
Like I felt bad for badgering him. You know? I was like, surely at some point, me keep, you know, like, hey man, just remember, you know, he's just gonna tell me to fuck off.
Man, you aren't even German.
No. I do enjoy badgering Badger though, especially when it comes to anything German.
Oh yeah, you have to.
My dad's side of the family is German with, you know, the full like got a German name and everything.
I was really concerned that you were about to say, "Yeah, my family is German," complete with the whole goose stepping and.
Well, no,
helmets.
like my dad's family's German. My mom was, Choctaw. So me growing up, like I got my dad would always be making Indian jokes, from a time I could like understand words, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And that pretty well inoculated me from any kind of like anybody picking on me for being Indian, or well, in reverse also, like Indians picking on me for being white. Because racism, it's not just a white thing, folks.
Mm-hmm.
But you want to hear some really racist shit, go listen to a couple of Indians talking about just not even white people. Listen to them talk about somebody from a different tribe.
Yeah.
But so like me growing up's like, all right, well, fight fire with fire. So I just started like ripping on anything German, and then I met Badger. I was like, oh, I've been training for this my whole life.
You poor ignorant fool! You don't even know.
I had to stop watching his Twitch streams because I was afraid I was going to get him in trouble. Because at one point, like I don't remember what the conversation was about because this was a few years back, but he was doing a stream on Twitch, and somebody had said something like asking for advice, whatever, and so the advice that I put into chat, he started reading, and then he gets like almost to the end, he's like, nope. I said, life is like Belgium. Sometimes you just have to march through it.
Nice.
He's like, nope, not reading that. I was like, I don't blame you.
Well, I remember I told Camel this way back when, and it might have been on stream, but like my dad has this had this recurve bow that he actually gave me recently, and when he I have no idea. It's just essentially a longbow.
Mm-hmm. Completely sidetracked his story.
I think it was
Drunko got me.
Yeah.
Nice.
But so no, he's teaching me how to shoot this bow, and he goes, "Yeah, you're native enough. You can use it." And so we set up this one of his, targets to shoot at with the tree, and he's like, "Okay, no, you put the arrow here, you pull it back." I pulled it back, and then as I'm like getting ready to, because you have to like pull it enough to where it like kind of sets. Mm-hmm. It's like it almost like it feels like it locks in, and as soon as I'm just about to get it pulled all the way back, he leans up into my ear and goes, "Hi yeah." And I bust out laughing, and the arrow just goes somewhere. Like it's just in the great beyond of wherever I was shooting. And I'm like, man, I hope no one was back there.
Well, see, that's the one thing about like my father. Like, he was blind in one eye, so he would not risk his other eye making a joke like that at that particular time. Sir, why are you completely blind? I made a joke. My son thought it was funny. Here I am.
He shot me in the eye.
Your thought here. It's no, it's yeah. To the story that I was going to say.
Before you get to that, real fast.
Don't even start that shit.
I was just going to ask you sent him the link or not.
Well, I don't. He didn't confirm that he wanted to come in, so.
Well, that's clearly him doing the work when he feeds your mom twice daily.
Well, that's a different line of work. That's a lot of work.
It's still a line of work. Doesn't matter that it's one of the oldest professions.
Yeah, And that's a lot to take in. Nothing?
Are we not doing phrasing anymore, guys?
I was gonna let that one pass until you said it.
Actually, the funniest part about that is my mom literally weighs nothing. But anyway.
See, you went for it was a lot to take in on his end. Meanwhile, I was just thinking that you were complimenting him.
Yeah. We thought you were like, talking Drunkle up. That's all.
Well, I don't know. My mom could be. She could be forceful.
I'm
Okay,
sorry.
then.
What's going on
We'll
here
tell you
now?
later.
Apparently, that was absolutely the phrasing moment.
That was one hell of a segue, Johnny.
Anyway, so people are being requested to stop picking the carnivorous penis plants. You'll have to link to the
Are
Discord.
they pitcher plants that they're talking about? Oh, no, they aren't.
They're penis
They
pitcher
aren't the-
plants.
No, they are pitcher plants. Okay.
I do not have the link to the Discord. It is in the description, but I can give you the link to the chat or the.
Hold on one second. I'll send him the StreamYard's link because I think I still have a DM open with him. 1 second.
Well, I have his Discord pulled up. I wasn't sure if.
I just got to scroll back.
Send him the goddamn link.
Drunkle, I have absolutely no idea what to do here, so I'm just going to let them do it.
There's the StreamYard link, Drunkle.
I sent him one, and you sent him one. So
He's like, someone else, please.
He starts having flashbacks.
Fortunate Son playing in the background.
Exactly.
Let's see here. People picking penis pitcher plant poses problems.
Say that 5 times
Good
fast.
fucking lord. I can barely say it once.
Oh, somebody at Live Science loves their alliteration.
I like how when you first said that they were picking carnivorous penis plants, I immediately went, oh, it's a pitcher plant. And sure enough, it's a fucking pitcher plant.
Well, how many dick-shaped plants are there, Sanguine? Honestly, and don't say
Do you
like
really want me
eggplants or
to
cucumbers.
start
Those don't
answering?
count.
Do you really want me to start answering? Do you know why orchids are called orchids?
Well,
Do you know where
Drunkle's
orchis
here now.
comes from?
Of course I know where orchids come from, mate. Do you think they call me the orchid man for no fucking reason? I came from the fucking land of orchids. Are you kidding me? I know all about orchids, mate. I put the orc in orchid. Right, actually, no, I tell a lot. I'm the id. The rest were orcs.
Well, I was gonna steal one of your bits before you jump in here. I was gonna make Sanguine name
You
six
can have it.
penis plants.
You're gonna steal it, mate. You could just fucking have it. You
Well, I
take it.
am Indian,
Take
so
it
I'll
away.
give it back to
It's
you.
all yours. It's all yours. You carry on.
Okay, quick, Sanguine. Name 6 penis plants.
There's the orchid, which is named after orcus, which is the Greek word for testicle. There's the pitcher plant.
Okay, no, that's a
There's-
testicle plant. That's not a penis plant. Stay on top.
I
of
mean,
penis
every
plants.
plant is a penis plant, isn't it? Look, it grows up and it gradually goes towards the sun. All plants are pedophiles.
If you study botany for any period of time, you quickly realize botanists were just a bunch of horny bastards as they were
Well,
looking at plants.
you're completely right, sir, but you're pronouncing it incorrectly. It was botany, not botany.
So how are you doing on this fine Friday morning, Drunkle?
Oh God, you mean me? It's actually
No, the other one.
Yeah, no, I'm all right. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. What can I say, mate? Look, it's fucking 6 a.m. It's fucking Friday morning for me. The only reason, look, here's the thing, mate. Here's the thing. I've not been able to do videos for a little recent bit because I've had a fucking throat problem. And I got to see a doctor about it over the weekend. So I don't think there's actually going to be any fucking videos from me from probably a week, maybe 2 weeks. I'm not sure, mate. But I've got a legit medical thing going on right now, you know? I don't get me wrong. I can sit here and I can just chat with you guys. But when it comes to fucking making a video, mate, nah, that's very different, mate.
You end up talking for a bit too long and you aren't able to wet your whistle as readily.
Ain't even that, mate. It's the drunkle voice, right? Because you know how I am right now, right? How we are. We're sat here. We're chatting around about, oh, God, wow, mate, how's your mum? Oh, she's dead. Brilliant, right? Okay. So fucking, who laughed at that?
There were like 3 of us.
You piece of shit.
My mom actually is dead, and I thought it was funny. So yeah.
Well, and you laughed.
Yeah.
Well, I did happen to make.
Hold up. Let's all talk about this guy's dead mum. Hold on. I'm sorry, but carry on.
I was gonna say, you're talking to a guy who made a spousal abuse joke in the middle of a guy being arrested about beating his wife.
Nice.
It was funny because
is that nice?
I mean,
okay.
I remember making a spousal
things.
So he's
I just don't think that's nice. I don't know.
He is.
But
It
it
may
does
have been
sound
what I
funny.
was taught. It may have been the way I was raised. I just don't think that's nice.
No, it's funny because it was actually funny because just the sheer reaction to the joke that I made from my friend and his brother, and I'm just like, what?
Oh my god,
Like,
Perspro, is that Prospero?
no. that's Johnny.
That's Johnny.
Is it? So I'm saying Perspro 059. Is that not Prospero 059?
No.
I've seen you in the chat. Is it? That's a different guy, right?
That is Johnny making fun of Prosper.
All right, everyone stop saying fucking Johnny for a moment, all right? Because in England, it means something very different.
That is Mr. Hellcat.
Not saying John Thomas. Come on. We're saying Hellcat.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
No, he's also got one of Your Boy Pat, where he's got the cat's head on it, and it's Your Boy Cat.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Oh my god, I can actually see a little bit of fucking little bit of a camera feed on old Tragic Gardener right here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yo, my boy, what's good, man?
Oh, I have been in pain all day.
Yeah, I kind of assumed. Yeah, I tell you what, you look exactly how I thought you would.
I've been trying to. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm trying to liken him up to punctuation right here. Like he's kind of like an exclamation mark, but with a bit shaved off the end. What's good, Travis, mate? Travis, mate, you've been a fucking legend to me, mate. How you doing tonight, mate? You good?
Oh, you know, it's actually not that bad. I had a short, I had a short day. I had my shoulder hurt and.
Oh, what's up with your shoulder? You all right?
You lay down in people's kitchens all day and.
I've never once laid down in someone else's kitchen, but that's all you.
I've laid down in my own kitchen.
Well, I mean, that's your kitchen, isn't it? No, you pay the fucking rent, mate. That's your fucking kitchen. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
there's someone else's kitchen, do you? Look.
I am not too proud to admit I've been drunk enough to lay down in somebody else's kitchen before. Yes.
Well, I mean, you say is someone else? Are you doing like on the fucking like the breakfast island kind of thing in the middle? Like, are you laying down on, like a surgeon's table?
No, right in front of the fridge.
Floor.
He stashed
Right
himself
in front
in one
of the fridge.
cabinets.
This motherfucker went right in front of the goddamn fridge. All right, I got to stop everyone because it looks like Tragic Gardener is trying to origami himself right there. Are you good, mate? You're right.
Oh, I'm just trying to support that shoulder. But
What's the matter with you, man?
well, I was laying in the floor, and I was trying to check out this dishwasher, and in the process of getting up, I put a little bit too much pressure on that shoulder, and all of a sudden, I was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna snap on you, and I'm gonna hurt the rest of the day."
I feel that. How old are you, Tragic?
40.
Yeah, that'll do you, mate. That'll do you. I'll tell you what, I'm 35, mate, and I'll wake up just going, oh my God, I want to go back to bed. Look, everything fucking hurts. You just want to go back asleep and hopefully everything will feel all right in the morning. I feel you, mate. But I'll tell you what, mate, 40 years ain't old, brother. Ain't fucking old.
No, the funny thing is that people are like, "Oh, you're getting older." It's like, I still have that like mental aspect of like being 18. And I want to go out and do stuff. But then,
yes, totally, yeah.
And then the body just kind of runs. I have like physics, law enforcement, and physiology that are working against my 18-year-old mindset.
Mate, I know exactly where you're coming from. I fucking met her by the bird the other day from the pub, right? She was just like, fuck me in a pussy. I put it up her ass. I ain't got a fucking clue what's going on anymore, mate. I don't know what's going on with my body, her body. I ain't got a fucking clue what's going on. Hey, Travis, mate, you know you're good, right? You're in good company, brother. Don't fucking worry about a goddamn thing, mate, all right? This is a beautiful thing, mate, about the fucking AAA community is that we're all here together, yeah? And it happens, man. Everyone, even if fucking the show starts off late, everyone is coming in saying, hey, how are you? You know, everyone's got fucking mates here, mate. Mm-hmm. And you guys, every fucking single one of you, mate, you're all my mates. As long as you give me money. Travis, it's nice to see what you look like, though, Travis, mate.
Yeah, I wish the room was cleaner, but this is.
No, I'll tell you what, mate. That is a fucking brave move for you to turn on the webcam. That is a brave move, mate. No. Shut up. No, it's not even a fucking joke, mate. No, it's not because I wouldn't turn on my fucking webcam.
Mm-hmm.
I never have. But look at this guy right here, fucking Tragic Gardener. He's fucking done it, mate. He's braver than anyone here in this fucking chat right now. You see that? He's the only one who's got his fucking webcam on. So when you're fucking giggling away, mate, giggle at yourself because this guy is our hero right now.
Well, I've been trying to talk Travis into getting an avatar commissioned of him as like the American Gothic painting. You know, the old farmer and his wife out in front of the house.
I also kind of like him as Better Call Saul, you know?
Well, no, I was thinking like instead of having like the pitchfork, he could have the golf club.
Hold on a second. Travis Gardner, how long have you been hanging out with these guys?
I've only been on like the stream for like 6 months. It was like in November.
Right, okay, all right. Have they been taking the piss out of you, mate?
No, of course. I mean, that's kind of.
No. All right, have they been taking the piss out of you, mate? Because look. Honestly, if they have been, I got you back. All right, I'll tell them all to fuck off right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course I fucking will, mate.
Well, you had to.
No, this ain't even a fucking laughing thing, mate. Look, if you've been a dickhead to this guy, mate, I'm going to tell you all to fuck off in the most creative way, all right? And I ain't even going to be like that, right? It's just you being fucking bad people. Travis here is a good person.
Oh, absolutely. He's one of the best.
Why would you take the piss out of him?
The only reason why I suggested it was because of he came onto the stream one night with the Tragic Gardener name. It's like, oh well, if you're embracing that, dude, like go.
So why are you taking the piss out of him?
I was like, go.
Why are you taking the piss out of him then?
Because it's funny.
So what? So why are you being a bitch to him? Why are you being a cunt to him?
Because I always take the piss out of my friends.
Yeah, okay.
If I treat him with the utmost respect, then like it would just be weird.
Okay, I understand that to a certain extent, mate. But like, come on, you gotta be nice, right?
I thought it would be a cool avatar, and
I
like
mean,
it would have a backstory to it.
Here's the thing: being cool and being nice are very different things. We all went through school, right?
Yeah.
All right. Why you been a dick to my man, fucking Travis here? Why are people being a dick to my man Travis?
I wasn't trying to be a dick. I just thought it'd be cool
Okay.
to have like that bit of lore, like have an artist, make it for him.
I get it, dude. You weren't trying to be a dick. I understand that. No, it's fine.
If
You weren't trying
if
to
Travis
be a
thinks
dick.
I was being a dick,
End
I
of the day,
apologize.
buddy. But end of the day, you were being a dick. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So we can agree on that. That's cool. We came towards that. That's fine. Sanguine, what's going on, mate?
Not much here.
Yeah. Has everyone been taking a piss out of my fucking man, Tragic Gardener here? Has everyone here been taking a piss out of my man, Tragic Gardener right here? Because I'll tell you what, I will defend this motherfucker to the end of times.
We've been having fun, Bance.
You've been having fun. No, you've been having fun, Bance, mate. Travis, how you been feeling about? Don't mean to put you on the fucking, on the spot or anything, man. But have people been taking a piss? How have you felt about them people taking a piss out of you?
I just figure just hazing in the community.
Good bit of hazing. Okay. I love that. That's great. I love that. Good bit of hazing. I love a bit of hazing. I'll tell you what, though. Sanguine, Hellcat, if you haze this motherfucker again, I'm going to fucking come for you, mate. And I mean that at your houses, all right? My mate right here, Travis Garner, don't fucking... He's my boy, okay? Don't you... He doesn't need hazing, mate. He's already been hazed. He's done. All right, Travis, look at me. Look at the camera. I got your back, brother. I got your fucking back, brother. I fucking love this guy, mate. I will protect you to the end of time, mate. You know that, all right? Yeah, you fucking know it, mate. Camel, Sanguine. I fucking Sanguine I've ran into a couple of times. Hellcat, I think you might be a little bit new. Yeah, no, of course I don't fucking know Sanguine. Oi. Everyone here, it's a community, right? Mm-hmm. And that's what we try to fucking bestow. That's what we try to fucking, cultivate, right? Is a community. We don't want people taking the piss out of each other, mate. We want the AAA meeting is like everyone comes into the chat and everyone says hello. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? How's your mum getting along with the carpet and everything, you know? We don't want taking the people taking the piss out of each other, man.
Been that way since the old days of GPP.
Oh, wow. Now we're going way back now, son.
Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah, we are.
Yeah. But even then, look, if you go way back then, mate, fucking, it was still the same kind of initiative, you know?
That's what I was saying. It's been that way ever since.
It's been that way ever since, mate. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. How you doing, Tragic?
Yeah. I'm doing all right. It's I've just we were, you missed it, we were, of course, being Americans, we ought to start off talking about guns and nuclear weapons.
Have you got guns? Have you got, Tragic, have you got guns?
Yes.
Can you show me a gun, please?
Give me...
Oh, God, he's going to show me a gun!
Give me like 1 second.
Again, right, once more, which is what I was saying. Stop taking a piss out of this guy, because he is not only beautiful, but he's the bravest out of all of us, because he's the only one who's got a fucking webcam on, right? So everyone else can shut the fuck up. Oh my God, he's got a gun! Oh my God, he's got a gun! Right, now that's a fucking reason as well.
There you go. This is a...
Enfield 303?
No, I almost bought one of those once, but somebody outbid me. This is a 1903 Mauser that was
MotZ. Okay.
This was taken out of World War One German service. And
See,
then,
that's the thing I'm looking at. It fucking most of it is wooden. You've got some kind of fucking steel going. Like, yes, obviously going to be World War Two, right? Have you ever thought about doing your own videos here, Travis? Because you've got this one gun alone, and that could actually pay your rent.
you know, I would love to shoot this, but I gotta find some place that has enough range that I can shoot and not hurt anything down the
May
line.
I introduce you to my ex-girlfriends?
Well, with enough elevation
That
on
is
that.
a beautiful piece of work. Go full screen. Is there any way that I can go? Can I bring his window up more than anyone else's on the StreamYard? Oh, thank you very much. All right, hold that bad boy up there for me, Travis. Oh, look at that. What wood is that? Ebony?
That is walnut.
Walnut?
Yeah.
Yep. Just aged walnut.
Yeah. And I love the sound of it. I love the sound of a good Mauser bolt action. You just...
Oh.
Mhm.
Well, hold on. Do it again.
You want to do it again? Do it again.
Yeah, I want to do it again.
All right.
That is some fucking Hollywood shit, isn't it?
Mhm.
Have you ever fired that, Travis?
Yes.
You have?
Yes. I haven't fired it in like 3 years. I need to get it out and really go after it. I'm a terrible shot, but this thing will put a nice hole in a Volkswagen engine block.
For real?
Yes.
Yeah?
And not a Volkswagen Beetle, but a Volkswagen Fox. Just ask
No,
my...
I know what a Volkswagen Beetle is, mate. I'm English. Come on.
but yeah, we fired it. And, I mean, they'll take out a washing machine and...
So, okay, I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I'm going to ask you for what else you got in your arsenal right now. But also, you fired that once, yeah?
Oh, I fired it several times, but
Oh,
the
okay.
last time
All right.
was a few years ago. Do you want to see something that probably nobody else has seen on this year?
Oh my god, you know I do.
All right, hold on.
Just real quick, Travis, before you take
yeah,
the headset
sure.
off, I got a question.
Yeah.
What's the recoil like on that Mauser? When
It's the
when you
reason
shoot
why I have this shoulder so bad.
Oh, no way!
World War
Travis,
One.
God, you've just gone up in my books right there. So well done, well done.
All right.
Very good.
I'll be right back.
it? Okay.
No, my dad has a Japanese gun that he's been wanting to give to me, but that thing is heavily damaged.
Oh yeah, you mentioned that last time, the Arasaka.
He's got a cat. He's got a cat in the same room as guns.
Yeah, that cat is huge too. Look at that thing.
That cat will fire a fucking gun, mate. Is it?
This, a bit smaller, but it's not as a. It's about the same.
Are you a big rifle man then, Tragic Gardener?
Right now, yes, I am. I've been looking at.
So I'm sorry, Carol. I'm sorry.
I am looking at some pistols right now, but
Yeah. Well, you're looking at superior accuracy, mate. You're looking at a rifle, right?
yeah. Well,
Yeah,
this.
of course you are. Yeah.
Well, this is a little carbine.
That is a beautiful gun. Look
yeah.
at that. Look at the fucking varnish. Look at the wood. This is gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
And this, I could actually, I could open carry this in Oklahoma. I'm pretty sure.
Look, why would you want to unless you want to get a Burger King for free?
Well, sometimes you have to collect on the debt.
Go on. Yeah. Oh, this fucking guy. Give me the click, Travis. Give me the
All
click.
right. Before I give you the click, this is a Steyr Austrian M95 straight pull, so it doesn't do the bump like the bolt action.
Yeah.
It just
It's just a straight bump.
yes.
Do that again.
God.
That is what shotguns sound like in Hollywood.
Okay, so
No,
we've got a Mauser.
legit. Travis, one more time, right? All right. Hold on. Keep your hand on it, right? I'm gonna do a Vin Diesel thing, right? You ready?
Yep.
I was born for this. That's it. That's it. That's what it is, mate. You've got. I mean, we've only seen 2 guns, mate, but that is already an impressive arsenal. It's fucking 200% better than anything I got. Fucking hell.
This is the only 2 guns I have at the moment. I had more, but I also had another marriage too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Have you
I mean, gods will solve all of that. won't they?
have you ever fired, Drunkle?
I've been fired.
Have you ever been shooting? I think that's what he's.
I have never fired a gun. No, this is what me and Sinatra were talking about the other day. Was maybe we should get a donation goal going for me to get over to America, meet Sinatra, and we just go shooting at the range every single day.
Oh, that would be fucking awesome.
I've never shot. I'll tell you what I have shot there, mate, is bows, bow and arrow. And I'll tell you what, mate, I am fucking like gruesomely accurate.
I have an 85-pound pull longbow in the other room.
Drunkle, if you do meet that goal and go over and shooting with Sinatra, I don't want a video, but I do want audio. I want to hear your reaction to shooting.
Was that
I just imagined like the glee in your voice.
Oh, you know I'm gonna be forgot. Oh my god, let's do it again. Yeah, you know what I'm gonna be like. Unfortunately, I've had throat problems. I gotta see the doctor tomorrow because like it's been getting really bad. It's nothing that we have to worry about or anything like that. It's just like just something in my neck. I think it's a muscular thing, to be honest. Which is what. Look, I planned to make a video last week. I couldn't do it. I plan to do it this week. I can't fucking do it this week. I'm gonna have to fucking. It's just things that happens. But going to fucking have a shootout with Sinatra. I mean, that's gonna be fucking amazing, mate.
Yep.
I would love it. And but the problem is the cost of ammo, right, Travis?
Yes. This one. I have to have somebody reload for me. I have to have the cases neck down specifically for it. The Mauser, it's Mauser ammunition. It's a
Mauser. Yeah.
It's 8mm Mauser. And you wonder, and it's like, oh yeah, the Americans we don't use the metric system. Yeah, we do. We just measure.
We use the metric system for drugs and guns.
we measure it by bullets.
That's
how many times you said the previous one? How many times you fired this one, Travis?
I've only fired this one 5 times in the whole time I've had it.
I love that like you look at the last one, you go it was 1, and you look at this one, you go 5. You know exactly how many times you fired it. And looking at you, you know exactly how many times you want to fire it in the future.
We just...
Travis, can you do me a favor, right? Because
Yeah.
obviously you're sat here right now, right? Okay, so we're all fucking sat on a fucking stream. Can you start your own channel?
Yeah,
right? And can you start fucking firing at the range, mate? Because I will watch that all day long, and I will retweet that shit all day long, mate. I will donate to that shit, mate.
Oh yeah,
Get out of there! If you're firing that, mate, you're looking at fucking World War II weaponry right here, mate. Take that shit out to the range, and I will watch it. My mum will watch it.
And if you got nowhere where you can take that Mauser to shoot it, I'm sure we can find somewhere down here in the country you could come to.
that was the we're down in that part of the country would be a very good place to shoot it because you got you got hills,
And the best part is it's Indian land now, so anything goes.
Travis, cock it again.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's just such a nice sound, isn't it? Oh, that's so good, mate. I've never look. You look so fucking manly right now holding that shit.
I mean, I got the CRT TV. I got
Dude,
the
this should be your fucking Tinder profile picture right now, brother, mate. You got it, mate.
Camel, the only problem with going to Indian land to shoot is apparently you might randomly get caught by Johnny's arrow.
Oh no, he's in Montana. I'm not worried about that.
I can't shoot that far.
That's a hell of a shot.
But yeah,
Show us around the gun, the fucking Travis. Can you take it apart? What we got going on here?
Okay, if I can remember to.
Because this is old school, right? This is fucking we're going way back with this one. I mean, look at the fucking there's a fucking bar coming out, which you used to fucking. That's a boy there.
I'm sure if you can't remember how to disassemble and reassemble it, Assassin in chat, I'm sure he'd happily walk you through the steps.
Well, this is the beauty of engineering, that even way back when we had it. Look, if metal bar pushes forward, then metal bullet pushes forward faster, you know?
Holy cow, I forgot how to take this apart.
That is a beautiful machine. Like, even if you can't fucking take it apart, mate, that is fucking gorgeous right there.
I can pull the Mauser apart.
I'll tell you what, it's the wood. What does it for me? It's the wood. What takes it away from me with modern guns is everything is made of metal, right? But you're going back to you're going back to old fucking resin fucking wood rifles. Where accuracy actually mattered instead of just hold the trigger down and hope for the best.
Well, here's one of the things about this is it has a metal buttstock. Just
so have I, buddy.
There's a.
Okay, so it's a bit of a added weight at the end, yeah.
Yeah, and I'd hate to get, I'd hate to have to meet the end of that.
Well, look at it from where this rifle will come around as well. I mean, that's a weapon in itself. The front end is a weapon, and the back end was also a weapon as well.
Now you can see the bayonet. This is a
where you could totally attach it. Yeah, don't get me wrong. Yeah.
I just really
that's a bit of fucking history right there. That's awesome.
I don't have the clips. This is a clip loaded, so if you pull it back, you would strip the clip in and then pull it out and
no. I hear what you're saying, but do that one more time, please. That is such a good noise. That is a Hollywood noise, isn't it? That's Hollywood.
I think Drunken is finished.
There is no forward assist on it either, so.
Well, I mean, Travis, you know exactly what I mean when I say guns in movies don't sound anywhere near as much as they actually are in real life, right?
Well, no. When I first fired a gun, I was amazed at how loud they were because you're not expecting it.
You weren't expecting. You're firing a gun and you weren't expecting it to be loud.
Well, no, watching things on TV, you're like, well, I mean, is it?
You never see anyone in a movie fire a gun and immediately go, Jesus Christ, my ears. Okay.
That's exactly what he's talking about, though, isn't it? It's a fucking you see someone fire a gun in Hollywood as opposed to firing it in real life.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of my favorite parts of that movie, The Other Guys. Like they're walking away from the explosion, or that the building explodes. Like it's so loud. The movies lie.
Travis,
Yeah.
what gun? If you could afford anything, what gun would you want to get?
That's a hard question, but the first one that come to mind was I like military guns, so I'm thinking AK-47.
I mean, is that even a military gun? That's a fucking... It's a terrorist gun, isn't it?
Well,
I mean, Russian military. So,
right. Well, you got straight AK. That's like going into a restaurant and saying, "I'll have vanilla ice cream."
well, sometimes vanilla's the best.
Do you know what? I actually fucking hear what you're saying. Okay. No, he's right. Sometimes vanilla is the best. He ain't wrong, is he? He's not fucking wrong.
If you pulled out you got people out there, they'll deck out their AR-15s and everything else. But if you were to go up to a range with a bone stock, but fully automatic Russian AK-47, you'll be the one that gathers the most attention.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on.
Is that a good thing?
Are you about to bring up what Assassin just said, Camel?
Yes, I am, because that was you? Really?
So, to catch everyone up, Assassin of the Grey just said that he made one of the props for the other guys. He made
the wooden Glock. That's okay. That's
sorry, a wooden Glock.
Yeah, the movie The Other Guys. Will Ferrell's
Oh,
character,
the other guy, aim for the bushes. Yeah,
okay. He has his office pop, and they take his gun and they give him a wooden fake gun.
Would a wooden Glock make sense? That would just explode, wouldn't it?
Well, no. It was just a block of wood that was shaped like a gun. Because I understand in the era of fucking Hollywood and fiction and everything, but a wooden Glock.
So a wooden gun wouldn't, but a wooden cannon does.
Wasn't
that is the answer I was looking for? Thank you.
You are welcome. Yeah, there's a wooden cannon that was made ages ago. You could make a actual full proper mortar with a log.
With wood?
Yeah.
Jesus.
You don't even need iron banding for it, but if you put iron banding on the log, then you're able to fire a higher charge shot down the...
I tell you what, I fucking hate people, but the one thing I love about people is the ability to kill other people. We have really, really worked on that, haven't we?
Yep.
The other gun that comes to mind would be the Lee Enfield SMLE.
Yep.
Oh no, Lee Enfield. Now we're talking into to a field, the Enfield that I know about. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That saved the world, mate.
Yeah, that was the.
Have you got one of those as well, Travis?
I almost did, but I got outbid on it.
Really? That's a shame.
Somebody, it was at a gun auction when we could still have those here, and I got outbid by $50. I had to be a cash.
$50. That sucks, brother. Oh man, that's harsh.
Well,
that's horrible.
Well, Drunkly, you should know about the Mad Minute, right?
Huh?
Oh, the Mad Minute's amazing.
Yeah, the British soldiers were trained to fire 10 rounds out of a Lee Enfield in a minute.
You got a cat. There's a cat behind you.
Oh yeah, the cat. Chonk.
Right. Sorry, it's just when you said British soldiers were trained to shoot, and I saw a cat. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, they were. They could fire 10 rounds in.
What's the cat's name?
Oh, that's Junie.
Junie?
Junie.
Oh, that looks like a Junie.
She is so chubby.
Yeah, she's beautiful, mate. She's beautiful.
Are you wanting a Russian sniper rifle, Johnny? Is that what you're
That
showing
is
us?
a Dragunov. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That is a great. That's great.
Okay, right. Rather than show me this rifle on it, just sat there on a bench, I've had someone somewhere show me someone fucking firing it. Right, because don't get me wrong, guys. Guns, you just sat there looking fucking brilliant in all their Gundam and everything, fantastic. But I want to see him being shot, mate. And even then, like just to add a barrel, if we can do any better, I would like to see the target being hit as well, if we can. All right, but what I'm saying is, I don't want to just see fucking someone holding a gun. I want to see that gun being fucking fired. Is that so much to ask?
I'm trying to find a video right now. Let's see.
I'm English, mate. You have to do this for me. We don't have this in my country. I'm trying
to find one.
Get Hellcat. Look at me.
There we
I
go.
want a fucking gun being shot.
All right, this is,
Preferably at a person, maybe a minority. I don't know. I'm not deciding.
I'm trying to find one that shows them shooting it and you seeing the target that's not insanely long. Like this one's like 18 minutes. There's gonna be a lot of like bullshit talking before.
Okay, I'll tell you what, if you can do that. Everyone else, look up like a fucking 50 cal just firing off. I would love to see that shit. I love engines, right? And a gun is nothing else but another engine, right? That's how it goes. It's just something that fucking fires around. It's just the pistons firing away, okay? So anything, big engines, big fucking pistons, big fucking guns. Let's do it, please.
well, Hellcat, show that one that I sent the other day with the guy unloading the machine gun.
All right.
I put it last on the chat, and then the one that's above it in chat is the Lee Enfield Mad Minute.
Oh yeah, the Mad Minute's ridiculous. They were drilled for 10 rounds in 6.5 seconds.
Oh, no way.
Yep. So the
I want to see that.
the best of the Mad Minute was able to fire 60 rounds in a minute, and there were
I'll tell you what,
German reports.
I've got a story for you after this. A mate of mine who was in the army, but let's watch this first.
Let's see if I. Let me see if I can actually share the audio. That'd probably be a good idea.
I mean, we want to see the we want the audio, right, boys?
Well, this one's got some weird.
We want the audio.
Now see that title right there is so fucking misleading. I found one. It's a nice short little 23-second video, supposedly firing a Dragunov, but it's not a Dragunov.
The music dismays me. Yeah. It feels like all of you. Oh, look at it.
I'm just waiting to hear Sinatra reading a donation.
That's pretty cool.
Then the other one was the Mad Minute, which is
Do it.
it's fucking crazy.
Is the one on the bottom?
No, it's the second to bottom.
Gotcha.
Travis,
Why am I- I'm pointing at the screen.
Are you proper fucking gun nut there, mate? Yeah?
Not on the level of Sinatra and Polly, but
What? No, don't compare yourself to every other fucking people, mate. Especially people online, mate. But you a gun nut. You love guns, yeah?
Of
Is that your
course.
hobby?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm talking about, mate. You fucking carry on with that, mate. That's my boy right there.
I appreciate guns. I'm too poor to love them.
I'm in the wrong country.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we're all in the fucking same respect here, mate. Travis, don't fucking compare yourself to anyone else, mate. Look, if you love something, you fucking pursue it, mate. If you love guns, go catch that Glock, you dirty little white man.
I have we have a Security 9. That's about it so far.
Nice.
I'm sorry, what?
It's a Ruger Security 9. It's just a handgun.
9mm.
It's handgun. Okay, I heard mine. I was like, oh, he just buried something outside his front door. So if any motherfucker wants to deliver some fucking mail, he's done. You know?
I thought you said security mime when you misheard him, so I was just picturing someone doing this, and a mime comes out of nowhere, starts putting
Finger
them in a
guns
box.
coming out blasting like Frank Reynolds.
He's definitely not allowed in Australia.
I thought you were saying the Security 9, and I thought it was the digit before 10 that was just wandering down his fucking yard.
Yeah, it's a security 9mm.
You never heard of a 9mm? Come on.
No, actually that's the one that my wife actually pointed at me.
Yep.
While it was loaded.
Hold up.
Fun.
Hold up. Everyone shut the fuck up. What?
So, when we went the last time we went shooting.
Oh, you were so ready to tell this story.
I am always ready to tell this story because she absolutely hates it when I do.
Yeah, because she fucking stood behind you with a Glock. Right.
Well, she was up front with my stepdaughter, and she was essentially showing her how.
Hang on, what's your stepdaughter? What's her name? Is it gonna come up in the story? Is what I'm saying.
No.
Oh, okay. All right, never mind. All right, come.
But one of the shells, when it ejected after a shot, popped up, hit the wall, and then it fell back into her shirt. And
is that a little bit hot though?
Yeah, so she instead of like setting the gun down and being like, "Okay, let's get this out of my shirt," she's holding the gun, turns to me, and I'm just like pointing and we're like, "Turn that thing around!"
Duck and cover.
Everyone else is looking at me like I'm crazy, and I'm just like, "No!" So yeah, like me and my stepdaughter is like, no, turn her around. Then you can take care of that casing.
Little bonding experience between you two, though, yeah.
Yeah,
that's really cool, man. That's really cool. How are you guys now? Like, do you bond with her without having to shoot a gun past her shoulder, or
without having to have a 9mm pointed at your head?
Without having your life flash before your eyes, you guys managed to have a bonding moment.
No, it was,
right.
just so you know, it wasn't pointed at my head. It was pointed around my gut, crotch area.
So it would have been a slow, painful death. Okay, yeah.
It would have been on video, so at the very least.
Holy shit! Yeah, I mean that's a good story. That's a good story. Anyone else got any gun stories? Travis, what you got for us, mate? You got anything going on?
I had a friend almost shoot me in the knee.
Well, I feel as though I speak on behalf of everyone else when I say, tell us the bloody story.
Absolutely.
Right?
Well, a lot of guns, if you drop the magazine out of them, a lot of them won't fire. There's a lot of them that do. Well, this
Safety feature, right? Safety feature. Okay.
Well, this one was one of the ones that did because it was a Makarov.
Hey, Travis, do sit towards the microphone here, mate, because you sound echoey, mate. Yeah.
I was leaning
Look,
back.
if you're gonna tell a story, mate, then fucking tell a story. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, pick up the gun. Yeah, by all means, mate.
But no,
I'll take it all back. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you.
You should
look
just
how sexy this cunt looks right now, mate, with his fucking gun.
You should just get a shotgun and then just anytime you tell a story, start by racking it.
Yeah. Also, I think, it should also be any first date.
Let me tell you a story.
Just pull out a gun. Like, where are you going? Nowhere.
It's story time, bitch.
So where do you
Travis, you look badass right now, mate. You look badass, mate.
So, dear, where do you want to eat?
Wow.
I think we're having steak.
Oh, yeah.
But the guy turned towards me, and I was sitting on a futon next to him. Not next to him. He was at his desk like I am, and he turns around.
You were on a futon, like a bed.
Yeah, I was sitting on the futon.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it was a house party. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
He turns around and he says, "Yeah, it's perfectly safe. There's no mag in it." Pulls the trigger and loud noise, and I look down, and there's a hole in the futon about an inch away from my
Jesus
knee.
Christ! No way! Fuck!
I just heard this really, really bad, nervous laughter the entire time. I'm like, okay, I'm going home now, guys. I'm done.
Yeah, I'd be laughing nervous fucking Lee at that point as well, you know. I almost just shot a man in his fucking leg. Christ. What did you do, man? Travis, what did you do?
I just panicked. I was just sitting there. I just see this smoking hole next to my knee, and I'm like, I'm going home.
I understand that, mate. I understand that, yeah.
That is the fastest way of sobering up ever. It does not matter how drunk you are. Somebody fires a gun at you at point blank, your mind just snaps out the whole alcoholic fog, and you're like,
that'll do it. Oh, Jesus Christ. I feel so grateful.
That's kind of like...
I've never been shot at. I feel so grateful right now.
So what we're going to do is we're going to make it where Drunkle is sad that he can't have guns, but also glad that nobody has been able to accidentally fire one towards him.
That would be nice as well. Can I have 2 wishes?
That story is just making me think of all the times when I was an EMT where I walked into a facility not realizing there was an active code silver going on.
What is a code silver?
An active gunman on the hospital grounds.
Yeah, no shit. Okay, all right.
So
how did that go for you, man?
It was interesting. Most of the time I would find out that it was a code silver when I got up to the floor. And the
you're here with
like,
us. We can be thankful for that at the very least, you know?
Yep. The nurses would typically be like, wait, how did you get here? I came up the elevator. There's a gunman. It's a code silver. Oh. You guys could have told me before I was coming in. Thanks for that.
No, I understand what you're saying. A gunman is a code silver. Is anyone else here wondering what a code gold might be?
Well, I was confused at first because I was thinking of like a silver alert. If I'm not mistaken, that's the elderly, like dementia patients wandering off the ward.
Yeah, Silver Fox. Yeah, good chat.
My favorite hospital code, hands down, though, is a code strong. Have any of you ever heard of a code strong or know what a code strong is?
I have not.
If I said yes, Would you respect me a little bit more?
I would then have you explain what it was. But
All right, a code strong is when someone shits all the way down the corridor.
no, that's a
And
different
no
code
one can
entirely.
move out because everyone's slipping around.
That's a different code entirely. A code strong
That's a
is
code brand.
Slide.
when someone is starting to get aggressive with the staff. You'll hear code strong be called. And literally what it means is all the biggest motherfuckers that work at the hospital are supposed to show up at whatever area of the hospital.
Oh God, I
code
hate that because
strong.
that would be me. I hate that because that would be me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, mate, fucking the amount of money you get paid is not worth the work that you do. You know, like, yeah, honestly, mate, you're a nurse, yeah?
I was an EMT for a while. I had
Yeah.
to,
What do you do now?
I now work in a laboratory.
Oh, good for you, mate. You fucking looked at it and you went, do you know what? It ain't fucking worth my bloody time or my
Well, in
physical body.
between,
Good for you.
in between working as an EMT and the laboratory, I also worked at a maximum security prison.
Honestly, I don't know why people are nurses. And here's the thing, like in the UK, right? Nurses are generally everyone's mum.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? And they're always like,
Yep.
"Oh, can you pick me up outside because there's a lot of fucking crackheads out here?" And why do you fucking keep doing it then? Oh, because I love it. I just love helping people. Oh, God bless you. You know, it's good people put in the worst situations, and that is what healthcare is. That's what healthcare is.
I had the most interesting time of being an EMT was when I was sent out for a altered mental status, which turned out to be a homicidal ideation patient.
Oh, I think I went to school with him. Yeah.
Was when I showed up, this was an interfacility transport that I was doing. When I showed up, they were...
Oh, mate, no, you've just used a lot of words that no one here really knows, except for maybe fucking Camel.
So an interfacility transport means that it's going from one facility, in this case a hospital, to a secondary facility, in this case.
Should have got that from intra. Okay, fair enough. I thought it was a gender thing. Okay, carry on.
Nope.
Right.
So I show up, and originally I was meant to be driving that call, but my partner looked at what the page for the call was and decided that I would be the one teching with our preceptee. A preceptee is someone who's training.
Good for you.
So,
cool. Okay, yeah.
The patient, the reason why my partner decided this was the patient was 6'4", 285 pounds.
I don't like how you said was. Like at the end of it, he was 5'9".
So we get there, and there's an orderly sitting in the room with the patient, and the patient is currently handcuffed to the bed that he's in.
All right. All right. Yeah. Bit of bondage. Love it.
The orderly looks up at me, looks over at the people that I'm partnered with, and goes, "You're riding in back with him, right?" "Yes." "Okay, good. If it was one of them, I would have said no." "Okay, that makes it more interesting. Stay on your toes. That dials it up even more." Because apparently this guy had tried several times to attack the staff of the facility.
Oh, no shit. Fuck.
So my partner for that shift and the preceptee go to get the paperwork set up, and they find out that there's no order for restraints during transport, which means that he will not be strapped down, at least to start. Because if there's no order for restraint, we aren't allowed to restrain them until they prove that they need to be restrained. We end up getting him transferred over to our stretcher, get him out to the ambulance. We start our transport, and everything's going fine. My preceptee was this tiny, tiny little blonde girl who was maybe 100 pounds soaking wet. So she was learning how to do the job. She was taking vitals, all that good shit during the call. We get about halfway through the call. She goes to take the vitals. She's sitting on the bench seat next to the stretcher. She has the laptop set up next to her. So she takes his blood pressure, takes the cuff off, sets it to one side, turns to start typing into the computer what his vitals were. I'm sitting in the captain's chair right behind the stretcher.
Nice.
As this guy reaches up, undoes his chest harness, and goes to lunge at my preceptee. I was told to stay on my toes, so I've been watching this entire time. I see him reach up, undo the belt, start to move. I lunge forward, slam my forearm into his chest, and just haul him back onto the stretcher.
Oh, Sanguine, get it, mate. Get it.
The type of stretcher that we had the O2 canister mounted above the head of the stretcher, so this isn't the first time that I've had to deal with someone in the back of an ambulance like this. I know what's going to happen. I dip my head beneath the O2 canister as this guy starts just launching punches back above his head.
I love that as this guy is launching fucking like a literal fucking punches, a literal mass. You go, yep. I'm going to hide behind other mass.
Yep. He's throwing his fist back, and he's just pounding the piss out of his knuckles into the O2 canister. My head's tucked safely below the O2 canister, not getting hit. He realizes...
That's what I'm saying. Is it safe? The O2 canister fucking... If one O2 canister moves, the other's going to move, and you're going to end up with a fucking head shaped like a fucking golf ball, mate.
Oh, if he was able to strike off the neck of it, the regulator, it would have launched that O2 canister like a fucking torpedo.
I'm not going to strike the neck of it if he would have managed to move one, because the O2 canisters, mate, they are heavy. You put your head behind one of the O2 canisters.
Oh, this one was strapped
for
to the top
fucking
of the stretcher.
Safety, of all places.
This one was strapped to the stretcher, so it would have had to bend out, and by that point, the force would have been eaten up. I would have been fine.
I'm just saying, my real point of safety would have been at the Holiday Inn that we just drove past.
But he starts throwing punches. He's pounding the piss out of his knuckles. He realizes that isn't going to work. He tries to pull free of my arm, starts punching my arm, clawing at my arm, trying to pull it. I'm a big fucking lad. And I decided, nope, and I would just cinch down every time that he exhaled until I was squeezing the air from him as he's trying to pull my arm off of him. He eventually tires himself out enough that I'm able to dip my head out from behind the stretcher and go, okay, so here's the deal. You're big and strong. Oh. You're bigger and stronger than my preceptee.
Well done,
I'm bigger and stronger than you.
Good for you, mate. Well done, mate. That's very... You must have felt fucking brilliant after that as well. Just like, I can fucking subdue another fucking human being. Good for you, man.
Oh, yeah.
That is the good feeling, though, isn't it? That is a good feeling.
Especially since...
I can take care of myself is a good feeling.
Oh, yeah, it absolutely is. Especially since after that call... My partner and I spent a good, 45 minutes talking our preceptee back into the ambulance because they were not excited to get back in because, like I said, when this guy started to lunge at her, what she did was she tried to become one with the furthest corner of the ambulance away from the guy, just completely spread out into that corner trying to be
the lesser-known Buddhist institute. I wish to become one with the furthest corner.
Exactly. And when I told him what was going on, he tried to start fighting again, dipped my head back, waited until he tired himself out, and then made sure that he was aware of what the situation was. He was, so then ended up having to strap him down to the stretcher until we got to the psych facility and transferred care over.
I mean, as long as we're talking about medic shit, Travis.
Yeah.
Oh God, you're still alive! Oh my God. It's just the way your neck was, mate. Like that.
Oh, I'm just gonna cricket it and just
Oh,
gonna.
no, don't give me that. I was worried for you, man. I was worried for you. What do you mean? Sit your ass up, you piece of shit. What the fuck you do? All right, gentlemen. I mean, it's been an absolute fucking pleasure hanging out with you. Don't get me wrong.
Always
right?
good.
Yeah, always a good time.
But it is 7:20 in my.
So it is.
It's very, very early. It's the thing. I mean, I fucking stream and everything. You know, I'll go up until the early hours, and every now and again, I like to fucking chat to the people that fucking, you know, that are in the chat and everything. I love that. And you know, Travis, mate, fantastic to actually speak with you, mate.
Oh, I'm glad to finally actually get to be on something with you.
Wow. Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Travis.
Well, keep in mind, this is the first time that we've been together in the same stream since.
No, it's not just that. It's Sanguine as well. Sanguine. Don't fucking think that I don't remember you, mate. All right. I've seen you rocking around, mate. You're one of the fucking old school. All right.
Yep.
Yeah, you know it as well. I'm just saying. I like, you know, fucking every now. I call it community service. It doesn't. It's worse than it sounds. But honestly, no. I coming out and just you know, fucking chatting with you guys and fucking. It might be on a fucking tiny little stream. It might be on a fucking off stream or anything. But I love chatting with you guys. And honestly, guys, you are what makes fucking Drunken Uncle, Sinatra Says, and even Polydub and everything. Like, I fucking love you guys to bits, mate. And the only thing I can do is come in every now and again and just chat to you for a little bit.
Yeah, it's been fun bullshitting with you, man.
Yeah.
Mate, I have had a fucking brilliant night with you guys, all right? It got a bit perverted.
As compared to a win.
Well, it got perverted and then it got threatening once Travis pulled out his guns.
Travis, give him one more for the road.
All right, one more. Shame.
Yes! Travis, you are a fucking legend. I'm so happy I've seen you on stream tonight, mate. I feel as though I know you a little bit more. And every time you donate a couple of dollars, mate, I'm going to be like, that is my fucking boy. you ever seen Better Call Saul? Yeah, looks like him. Hey, I'll tell you what, mate. Fucking Odenkirk, he gets the pussy. You're going to be good, Tragic Gardener. You're going to be all right.
I
could get it.
nobody.
I'm just married.
Are you married, Tragic?
Yeah.
Can I see your wife?
She's in bed by now.
Yeah, that's where she is, yeah. Dude, mate, it's been fucking fantastic. Actually seeing you, Travis, that's been fucking brilliant for me, mate, honestly. Gentlemen, I'm ever so sorry as well. It is 7 a.m. I don't know if you could tell.
Bit knackered.
I'm quite drunk. I'm quite drunk. The pub closed 7 hours ago and I kept on going. Gentlemen, thank you ever so much for, just for holding host to me, mate. I really appreciate that, guys.
No,
I love that.
You're welcome.
Been fun.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming.
You guys take it easy. All right. I will hopefully see you tomorrow on a AAA, right? I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you, Travis.
I'm trying. Now, you know, sometime I'm going to drop that comma on you right in the middle of Sinatra's stream.
You said that as well. You said the ultimate flex, right? To drop a comma on someone else's stream. But I'll tell you what, Travis, mate. Dude, I've never ever wanted money from anyone. Look, it's just a nice thing when it comes through.
Yeah.
All right? Don't feel as though you have to do it at all, mate. All right? We're all friends here, mate. Plus, he's got a fucking gun, so why am I going to try to take his money?
Yeah, bad idea trying to mug the man with guns.
It did not work out for those 4 boys.
I've got a
in Broken
fucking
Arrow.
narwhal tusk here. What the fuck am I doing? All right, you boys have a fucking brilliant night, and I will see you all tomorrow at the AAA. All right?
All right.
You have a good one, Drunkle.
Good lads. Wait.
Night.
Yeah,
Well, that's cool.
that was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun as shit.
But
Hey, Johnny, do you want to pull up that meme for Travis? Because
yeah,
I find that humorous.
before we close it,
Mm-hmm.
it'll be your parting.
I just imagine, Travis, when this comes up on screen, I just imagine this is the face your friend made before you like ran for the hills.
It was. It looked exactly like that motherfucker.
Nice.
Well, just imagine a full blood Kiowa looking like that.
Yeah, we're gonna have to call it. So we'll go with parting thoughts. Sanguine.
I'll leave off with my standard. If you're passionate about something, make sure that you devour it. Don't let it devour you.
And Travis.
The naked man fears no pickpockets.
Yeah,
He
Camel?
still has nature's pocket.
I was gonna say,
Reach up
like-
his ass.
I was gonna say, it's like you say that until someone picks your prison wallet. I'm
And,
sorry. Is it
Camel?
my turn now?
Yeah, it is your turn.
Okay, so I've been leaving off with 2 here lately. So, first one, it's always darkest before the dawn. So if you're gonna steal your neighbor's newspaper, that's the time to do it.
Nice.
And if there's anything the nonconformist hates worse than a conformist, it's another nonconformist who doesn't conform to the prevailing standards of nonconformity.
Very true.
That is actually pretty fucking true. I mean, yeah.
That's it. And I will go with Carlin quote. The reason I talk to myself is because I'm the only one whose answers I accept.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, the zoo is closed. Have a good night, everyone.
Have a good night, all.
Good night.
Night, everybody.
And one to top off the stream.